A service of KIBMradio.com, the Internet's home for an all old-time radio.
Instant Ralston and regular Ralston, the hot whole wheat cereals in the red and white checkerboard packages present Space Patrol! High adventure in the wild, fast reaches of space. Missions of daring in the name of interplanetary justice. Travel into the future with Buzz Corey, Commander-in-Chief of the Space Patrol! In today's transcribed Space Patrol adventure, Buzz and Happy have reached the end of an underground passage on the planet Mercury. Through their portable spacephones, they hear Major Robertson up on the surface.
Commander, how about coming back to the ship? I've got a strange feeling about this whole layout.
We might as well, Robbie. We can't go any farther. Come on, Ham.
Yes, sir. Commander, there's a gate sliding shut.
It's sealed in. A stone gate cut us off.
Commander. Where's that noise coming? Commander? Commander, where are you?
What's the matter, Hap?
Major, the commander was right here beside me, and now he's vanished.
We'll return in just a moment with today's exciting Space Patrol adventure, The Lost Dimension. Hi, this is Captain Dick Tufeld, Space Patrollers, ringing your doorbell today with an extra special message from Commander Corey for all you Space Patrollers about the brand new, sensational Monoview Outer Space Helmet. The terrific space helmet the Commander wants all of you to have for your very own. Now, just wait till you see it. And wait till you try it on. A whole foot high. It fits anybody, looks like a robot head. And it has a swell one-way mirror stratoviewer. You can see out, but nobody can see in. It sure is a neat disguise. Nobody can tell who you are. It comes in glowing space colors, red, yellow, green, and black, with two real-for-sure-looking oxygen tanks fitted on, and a gleaming lightning flash hood. Now, here's how to get yours. Buy a package of good hot Ralston. Then, with your name and address, send the instant or regular Ralston box top and 25 cents in coin to Space Patrol, Box 686, St. Louis, Missouri. That's Space Patrol, Box 686, St. Louis, Missouri. And now, today's Space Patrol adventure, The Lost Dimension. North of the equator of the planet Mercury is a low dome of rock known as Gombine's Knoll, named for its eccentric owner, Boris Gombine. His exact source of income is unknown, even to his closest associates. But he has a reputation for backing fantastic schemes and allowing himself to be imposed upon by men of doubtful worth. Even his confidential secretary, Mark Duncan, occasionally feels called upon to offer Gombine a word of caution.
It's not that this Dr. Farandol is dishonest, Mr. Gombine. He's wasting your money.
Well, not to change the subject, Duncan, but did you hear about the Planet X Resources project?
Yes, sir. The company must mean business. They've put up a $2 million credit bond to guarantee that they'll complete some basic developments there inside of a year.
Well, I'm not interested in Planet X. I'm interested in that 2 million credits. Why should it lie there in the vault of the Terror Bank when I could use it?
But the bank is protected by every detection and warning device known to science.
Yes, quite true, Duncan, up to a point, but I would like to show you something. Come with me, would you? There.
Why, this machine used to be in Farandol's lab.
Yes, his N-ray machine. Stand back a moment, Duncan. I'm going to turn the machine on. Now, watch that wall over there.
What? Dr. Farandol.
But oh, Mr. Gombine, the N-ray, you used it on me.
Yes, I was just showing Duncan how it worked. Hope I didn't alarm you too much.
It is somewhat of a shock. One instant I was in my lab, and the next time standing here.
You came right through solid walls and floors without being hurt?
Exactly.
And now, Duncan, do you see the enormous possibilities of the N-ray?
It's overwhelming. I don't know what to think.
This experimental model has a limited range, a few hundred yards at most. However, a more powerful N-ray generator can move objects from one planet to another.
How much money would be needed to construct such a generator?
A prohibitive amount for any private person. About 2 million credits.
2 million, eh? Perhaps that amount is not as far beyond reach as it seems. Not nearly so far.
Several days later, on the man-made planet Terra, Commander Corey and Cadet Happy are in a storeroom in the security lab in Space Patrol headquarters. Suspended on racks are several new type spacesuits, which Happy is seeing for the first time. Notice the helmet particularly, Happy. It was especially designed for Space Patrol use. Officially, it's called the Monoview Outer Space Helmet.
It looks great, sir, except, well, what about the facepiece?
Why, something wrong?
Well, it's got solid metal over it. How can you see where you're going or what you're doing?
Maybe you'd better test it. Here, try on the helmet.
The facepiece sure is metal, but well, what is it? Silver or polished endurium?
Neither. It's a new plastic.
Oh, a facepiece you can't see through. That doesn't seem like a very practical... Smoking rockets, I can see through it after all.
Then it's all right?
Hey, it's wonderful. I can see you in the lab just as clearly as... Hey, you must have made an adjustment on the helmet when I put it on.
No, I have. Take it off and see for yourself.
Okay. Hey, it looks like solid metal again.
That's the Mystic Strataviewer, Hap. That eyepiece is a unique feature of the Monoview Outer Space Helmet. The wearer can see out, but no one can see in.
Hey, that's terrific. That would sure be an advantage on a secret patrol.
You bet it would. In outer space, the Mystic Strataviewer lens cuts out harmful ultraviolet rays.
And this new helmet is going to be a regular issue to all space patrols?
Right, Hap.
I suppose Major Robertson has tested the helmets already.
Yes, he thinks they're great. Oh, Robbie, I'm just showing Happy the new Monoview Outer Space Helmet.
Commander, I've just learned 2 million credits have disappeared from the vault of the Terra Bank.
Huh?
Disappeared? How?
Well, that's a mystery. No alarms were tripped. There's no trace of forced entry.
An inside job. It's got to be.
Only 3 bank officials know the combination of the vault. Not one of them could have opened the vault without the knowledge and cooperation of the other 2. This morning, the 3 bank officers entered the vault in presence of witnesses to look for a missing document. They found the document, all right, exactly where one of the officers had put it by mistake, in the Planet X Resources Project vault. But the money was gone.
2 million credits can't disappear without at least one clue, and we're going to find it. Elsewhere, back on Mercury, Boris Gombean places a stack of credits in his private safe. He locks it and then turns to his assistant.
Well, there we are, Duncan. Thanks to the N-ray, we've 2 million credits.
I'm glad it's over. I could never go through that again.
Oh, there was nothing to it.
Not for you, maybe. To be in a surface car on the street one second, and to be inside a bank vault the next. To pass through endurium walls like water through a sieve.
Think what we can do now. With money enough to build a super powerful N-ray generator.
What about Farrington?
He won't know I'm using it until after he's constructed the big generator. Come in. Oh, yes, Dr. Farrington, what is it?
I've been doing considerable thinking about further financing of my N-ray, Mr. Cole.
But that is my department, Doctor. All you need do is work on a technical area.
I know, but it occurred to me that the United Planets government might be glad to help out, now that we have a working model.
For the time being, it's best that I handle the financing my own way. The government doesn't need to know about your invention.
But it already does.
What?
Some months ago, I sent a preliminary description of the N-ray principle to the Security Division of the Space Patrol.
You mean they know about the N-ray?
No, not the full theory. I didn't have it thoroughly worked out at that time.
That was very foolish of you, Farrington. Were you working here on Mercury when you sent that message?
Yes, I had just arrived.
This hurts me deeply. I advise you to send another message immediately telling the Security Division that the N-ray principle was entirely wrong.
Why should I do that? It isn't true, it was.
Well, suppose some government scientist should go to work on your theory. If they independently produce a workable N-ray machine, where does that leave me? What chance would I have to get back my investment? Now, is that gratitude, Farrington?
I never thought of it that way, Mr. Gombe, without realizing that I didn't say.
Biting the hand that feeds you. Well, I would play benefactor to an impractical, self-centered genius.
Please don't feel that way, Mr. Gamble. I'll send a message. I'll tell them I will.
Hours later, in Space Patrol headquarters on Terra, Buzz and Happy carefully go over the brainograph reports from the Terra Bank employees. Find anything, Happy?
No, sir. None of these employees know any more about how that money disappeared than I do. Oh, that reminds me. I was supposed to give you this copy of a message that was sent to the security division.
Who gave it to you?
Major Robertson.
Dr. Michael Farndall, Dean Knoll, Sector L24 Mercury. Professional pride prompts me to report the proven fallacy of my previous communication in regard to the transmission of solid objects by means of ultra-electronic vibration. I regret that my theory of the so-called N-ray operating in another dimension through hyperspace was announced prematurely. Why did Robbie want me to see this?
He didn't say. I guess he thought you needed to laugh. Well, what does it mean, if anything?
I don't know. Any man who comes out and admits he was wrong is entitled to respect and consideration.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to see that Dr. Farndall gets a reply the first thing in the morning. Now, let's go over this lab report on the robbery.
The calm serenity that has reigned in Gambine, Knoll, and Mercury has suddenly been broken. Boris Gambine paces the floor of his study while his assistant Duncan futilely tries to pacify him.
Oh, confound those stupid officials. Ordinarily, that money wouldn't have been missed for months.
Doesn't matter, does it? There aren't any clues.
Oh, no clues, except in the files of the security lab, that's all.
You mean Farndall's N-ray theory?
Yes, and the message I made him send. That'll start the Space Patrol to thinking, and it won't take them long to put two and two together.
Oh, I don't think they'll associate the two events.
Oh, you don't. Duncan, look here, they're faced with a robbery that couldn't have been committed by any known method. And then we come along and suggest a method, Farndall's N-ray, the possibility of transmitting objects through hyperspace. Practically a blueprint with my name on it.
I don't see what we can do about it now.
I do. We'll put the N-ray back in my spaceship and blast off the Terror, and you're going to get Farndall's original report out of the security file.
Next morning, in one of the file rooms of the security lab, Commander Corey and Cadet Happy stand in front of a cabinet containing reels of microfilm.
The chief clerk was right, sir. It's not here.
But it was entered in the Master's Journal. Farndall's theory was received, microfilmed, and filed in this cabinet.
Well, his hyperspace theory was no good anyway, so I guess it doesn't matter.
There's other information on that reel, Happy. It's very important that anything is missing from these files.
Well, maybe it's just a mistake. It'll turn up.
Major Robertson doesn't think it was a mistake.
Well, he did look pretty worried, but I thought it was about the missing 2 million credits.
Happy, stay here. Pretend to be busy with the file. I thought I saw somebody close the door to the next file you have.
But who could be in there? We don't know anyone.
Talking over there. I'll see if anyone's in the next room.
Okay. Well, I'll look through this cabinet once more. It's got to be here. Of course, it might have been filed under some other heading. Stay right where you are.
I've got to get out of here. What's the matter with Gambine and the N-ray? There it is. Last. Gambine, what happened? What happened?
Take it easy, Duncan. You're safely back in the ship.
What took you so long? You left me in that file room for an hour.
I had trouble with the resonator control. Now, did you get the microphone?
Yes, I got
Well,
it.
then what's the matter? You're white as moon dust.
Commander Corey caught me. Just before you cut the N-ray on.
Yes?
I hit him with my gun. Hard.
Well, if you've finished him, so much the better. And now get hold of yourself, Duncan. We're blasting off back to Mercury.
We'll return to Space Patrol in just a moment. A man from the moon, a Martian monster, or a citizen of Saturn. That's you, Space Patrollers. Yes, sir, that's you when you put on your new Monoview Outer Space helmet. Now, when you get it on, take a look in the mirror. Wow, you won't even recognize yourself. And nobody else will know you either because you can see out, but nobody can see in. Yes, sir, gang, that one-way mirror stratoviewer is real magic. Space magic. Oh, think of the fun you'll have playing Space Patrol, equipped with Commander Corey's own official Monoview Outer Space helmet. Just like a real spaceman. You're ready to go any place in space because your helmet comes complete with 2 real-looking oxygen tanks fitted on and a swell lightning flash hood. It's colored red, yellow, green, and black. Real space colors. And a whole foot high, and it fits anybody. Now, Space Patrollers, send for yours today. Buy a package of good hot Ralston. Then, with your name and address, send the instant or regular Ralston box top and 25 cents in coin to Space Patrol, Box 686, St. Louis, Missouri. That's Space Patrol, Box 686, St. Louis, Missouri. And now, back to our Space Patrol adventure, The Lost Dimension. By means of a mysterious N-ray that instantaneously transports objects through space, Boris Gambine has stolen 2 million credits from a vault in the Terra Bank. After the robbery, Gambin learned that a microfilm describing the possibilities of such a ray was on file in the Space Patrol security lab. To recover this incriminating evidence, Gambin used the ray to project his assistant, Mark Duncan, into the security lab. Discovered in a file room by Commander Corey, Duncan dealt Buzz a severe blow with the butt of his gun, and then the thief was whisked out of the lab back to Gambin's spaceship at the Terra spaceport. Right now, in the file room, Happy has discovered the prone figure of Commander Corey.
Commander! Commander!
Where are you?
Here in the rear file room. Hurry!
What happened?
The commander's been hurt. Somebody slugged him. We were in the other room, and the commander thought he saw this door swing shut. He went to investigate, and then I heard the sound of a scuffle.
Who did it?
I don't know.
Look, you must have seen who it was. No other way out of this room.
Look, it's right, Major. Where is the guy? Where did he go?
I certainly couldn't hide in here.
He couldn't have sneaked out the door behind me.
If he had, I'd have seen him.
Well, I think the commander's coming around.
We better get him to the infirmary.
Yeah, yes, sir.
Oh, right here, Commander. Hap and I are going to take you to the infirmary.
No, I'll be all right. What did that fellow do?
Commander, you're sure there was somebody in here? I ought to be sure. He slugged me with his gun. He's not here now. There's no way he could have escaped.
Well, there was no way for that microfilm deal to disappear from the files or for the 2 million credits to vanish from the bank.
He's right, Major. Any one of those things occurring by themselves is crazy, but when maybe added together, they mean something.
Yeah, but what?
Suppose there is a ray that can project objects, even people, through walls, and suppose there was proof of that ray in the files. Would that solve all our puzzles?
Well, all except why we'd get a message saying the ray was impossible.
Well, someone's very anxious for us to think it's impossible.
Even to the point of using the ray to remove evidence that it exists?
How else could it have been removed? I admit the ray's most unlikely, but it explains all the facts. It gives us something to work with.
Well, where do we begin? With this Dr. Farandall?
Right. Robbie, gather all the information you can on Farandall. Then you and Happy and I will blast off the Mercury.
Out in space, Boris Gambin has plotted the shortest trajectory between Terra and Mercury. Then, with the problem of astrogation out of the way, he turns to Mark Duncan.
I wish we knew for sure whether or not you finished, Commander Corey.
What difference would that make? Except to put us in a worse jam with the Space Patrol.
No, that would give us a break. See, how that microfilm disappeared would remain a mystery. But if he's alive to describe your escape from the security lab, well, then somebody is sure to investigate Farandall.
Well, then why head back to your place on Mercury?
Leave Farandall around to blab everything he knows? Besides, the 2 million credits are at Gambin Knoll. You don't want to leave that fortune there, do you?
Not if we can get away safely.
Oh, surely we can. Remember, we've a weapon the Space Patrol is powerless against. The N-ray.
How can you use it as a weapon?
You'll see. I'll need a little instruction from Farandall first.
Suppose he won't cooperate.
Just leave that to me. Now, stop worrying. When we get to my place, we'll carry the N-ray machine out of the ship and set it up in my study again.
Altitude 42 DUs above Mercury, sir. And we're right over the latitude of Gambin Knoll.
All right, Happy. Maintain the rate of descent. Yes, sir. Robbie, what's the setup at Gambin Knoll?
Well, there's no atmosphere shell, Commander. He's a tunnel-powered drill and chiseled himself a mansion out of a small hill. Passengers can be entered on foot through the airlocks if we're lucky.
Get out of spacesuits, Happy.
With the new helmet?
Right, the one of you out of space job. Robbie, you stay on the ship when we land and discourage anyone who tries to leave the knoll.
All right, Commander.
Meantime, in Gambin's study under the knoll, Gambin and Duncan struggle to set up the N-ray machine as Dr. Farandall lies bound to the floor, helpless beside them. A viewscope screen reveals a Space Patrol ship setting down at the foot of the knoll.
Now, look, Duncan. 2 men in spacesuits getting out of the ship. Isn't that machine ready yet?
I think so. Here, I'll try it. Something's wrong.
All right, what's the trouble, Farandall? What are we doing wrong? You'd better tell us quickly if you know what's good for you.
Yeah, you're in the jam with the Space Patrol, too, you know.
They're right up to the passage airlock. Now, come on, Farandall. Tell us how to work this ray.
What are you going to do with them?
We'll lift them up as high as the rail take them and then cut off the power.
Stop, Duncan. Farandall, listen. I'm running this show. All we want is a chance to escape. Tell us how to start the N-ray, and I promise you...
Yes, okay in the passage, Hap. Open your helmet faceplate. All right, Commander.
The passage branch is off to the left here. Which way do we go?
Take the widest branch. Straight ahead. Be sure to keep your suit space phone on so Robbie can hear.
Yes, sir.
How is everything in there?
All right, so far, Robbie. Any sign of anybody from your position?
I don't like the looks of it.
like we took the wrong turn, Happy. The passage comes to a dead end here.
Hey, Commander, how about coming back to the ship? I've got a strange feeling about this whole layout.
You might as well, Robbie. We can't go any farther. Come on, Hap.
Yes, sir. Commander, there's a gate sliding shut.
We're sealed in. The stone gate dropped and cut us off.
The rockets, Commander. Where's that noise coming from? Commander, where are you?
What's the matter, Hap?
Major, the commander was right here beside me, and now he's vanished.
A fraction of a second after he vanishes from the sealed passage, Commander Corey suddenly appears in Gambine's study. The pulsating sound of the N-ray fades, his vision clears, and he looks into the muzzle of a blast gun.
Stand right where you are, Corey, and get your hands up.
We only got one of them.
Well, that's just as well for the present. The other one's still sealed in the passage. Now, Corey, I'm going to turn off your suit spacerphone and don't move. There.
I assume you're Boris Gambine.
Yes, that's right.
The pilot of the machine there. He's the one who slugged me back at the security lab.
It was a pleasure.
Enough of these formalities. Duncan, keep Corey covered while I focus the N-ray.
What are you going to do?
Well, you're going to transfer me to the control compartment of Corey's ship. Yes, that's right, Corey. I'll take care of that pal of yours so fast he won't know what's happening.
You aren't going to leave me here.
Oh, no, of course not. You can bring the money when I spacerphone you from Corey's ship. Corey, take off your spacesuit. Come on, make it snappy. Watch him closely, Duncan.
I am.
All right, reach over and cut on the N-ray. It's all focused. And then cut on the spacerphone.
Okay.
See you later, Duncan.
I'm watching you, Corey. Then he's taking off that spacesuit.
Duncan, why don't you quit before you get in any deeper?
Yes, Duncan, listen.
Shut up, Parandol. Gambine and I are running this.
Commander, believe me, I had no knowledge of how they were using my N-ray until just a short time ago.
I said shut up. It isn't going to do you any good to spill your insides to Corey.
Gambine to Duncan. Gambine to Duncan. Come in.
There you see, he made it. Nothing here.
Nice work, Duncan. The N-ray plunked me down right behind this Major. I hadn't told him the deck before he could turn around.
What's next?
Now listen carefully. Bring the other space patroller up where you are. You know how to focus the N-ray down the sealed passage, don't you?
Yes, Gambine.
Now, when you get Corey and his pal out of their spacesuits, blast them. Then you and Farandol put on their suits and come to Corey's ship.
What about the N-ray?
Leave it there. With Farandol in our hands, we can have an N-ray that can really show things into line the way we want. All right, you know what to do. And when you come, don't forget the money.
All right, Gambine. Give me about 10 minutes. Nothing out. Now, Corey, keep your hands raised. And if I see one move out of you while I'm focusing this ray machine, I'll let you have it with this blaster. And remember, if I make a slip with the ray, something will happen to your partner down in the passage.
Smoking rockets. Hey, where am I? Gee, Commander, how...
Just drop that ray gun, Cadet. Keep your hands up.
See what he says.
Yes, sir.
For all a man who's so nervous, he leaves the vertical rectifier control out of bias on an N-ray. He's sure to be triggered. Huh? What's that? Go ahead. Overmodulate the whole hyperspace coordinate synchronizer.
Parandol, what's he talking about? What's wrong?
I'll show you.
Let go of that blaster, Duncan. Hey, nice going, Commander. That ought to hold him a while.
We've only started, Happy. We've got to get Gambine. He's in our ship waiting for Duncan and Farandol.
What about Major Robertson?
Gambine sneaked up behind him in an N-ray. Now listen, Hap. Here's what we'll do.
Oh, I'm glad you're coming out of it, Major. You're just about to see something quite spectacular.
What are you talking about, Gambine?
Duncan is bringing Farandol out to the ship now. He just shoved him out of the passage airlock. All right, you may stand up if you want to and take a look out the viewport. Just don't try anything. Remember, I have a gun on you. Major, somewhere under that knoll are your pals, and when Duncan and Farandol get aboard, I'm going to blast off, and then you'll have the pleasure of seeing your space patroller buddies blasted with their own ship's space torpedo.
Now, listen, Gambine. You can't do that. Give him a chance.
Oh, shut up. Look out there. Yes, Duncan's had a little trouble with Farandol.
Huh? How can you tell?
Well, the one in front has his hands tied behind him, and Duncan is carrying the money. And good, now he's opening the outer hatch. Nice work, Duncan. Put the money down and then take off your helmet and enjoy the show. Well, that faceplate's covered with metal. How can you see out of it?
Oh, it's easy when you know how.
Corey, that's right.
Man, for a while there, I thought all three of us were done for. He was nearly right. Open Happy's helmet. help me untie his hands. I added the rope to make it look legitimate.
Yeah, fool me, too. With those Montague outer space helmets on, I didn't know who was in those suits.
Thanks, Major.
We locked on beam back aft. When it happened, I'll go back to Duncan and Faraday.
Yeah, when we left, Farandol was begging us to destroy his end ray.
He was? Why?
It occurred to him that somebody might get hurt.
You know, something tells me he may be right.
An action preview of next week's exciting Space Patrol adventure in just a moment. Did you hear that, Space Patrollers? Did you hear how the sensational Monoview outer space helmet saved the day today for the Commander, Cadet Happy, and Major Robertson?
That's right, Dick. It's the finest piece of equipment ever developed in the Space Patrol laboratories. And that's why I want all you Space Patrollers to have a helmet just like mine. It's a whole foot high. Makes a wonderful disguise because that one-way strataviewer lets you see out, but nobody else can see in. Has 2 full-size oxygen tanks and breathing tubes printed on, and a gleaming lightning flash hood. And here's the biggest surprise of all. You can get this terrific new outer space helmet for just 25 cents in our Ralston box top. Yes, just 25 cents. Now listen carefully. Here's Captain Tufeld to tell you how to get your Monoview outer space helmet.
Just buy a box of good hot Ralston. Then, with your name and address, send 25 cents in coin and the instant or regular Ralston box top to Space Patrol, Box 686, St. Louis, Missouri. That's Space Patrol, Box 686, St. Louis, Missouri. And now, a preview of next week's exciting Space Patrol adventure. Buzz and Happy, helpless from the effects of a paralyzer ray, are in a lab ship out beyond the Jupiter orbit.
They sure gave us a stiff charge with that ray, Commander. It isn't even beginning to wear off.
Yes, every second we have to lie here, Vinker and Betts are getting farther away.
What's that?
That equipment over there, Happy.
The equipment? But I disconnected it.
Vinker must have hooked it up again. When that electrical charge builds up, this whole lab ship will be blown to pieces.
Be sure to join us next week for the thrilling story, The Wistful Wizard of Neptune's Moon, when Instant Ralston and Regular Ralston again present Space Patrol! Space Patrol, created by Mike Moser, starring Ed Kemmer as Commander Corey and Lynn Osborne as Cadet Happy, was written by Lou Houston, produced and directed by Larry Robertson, executive producer Mike Dever. Other players were Lawrence Dodkin, Ken Mayer, and Norman Jolly. Dick Tufeld speaking. Now, don't forget to tune in next Saturday and every Saturday when Instant Ralston and Regular Ralston again present Space Patrol! This is Dick Tufeld in Los Angeles, reporting on America's most heavily armed fighter interceptor, the Northrop Air Force Scorpion F-89D. In a moment, we'll hear from the test pilot on this plane, Bob Love, Korean jet ace, with a record of 6 MiGs in 6 weeks. Primary job of the Scorpion is to protect our country from invading aircraft. Speed more than 600 miles an hour. Weight 20 tons. Now, Bob Love recorded at Edwards Air Force Base.
You know, a fella has to be in top condition to test fly a fast aircraft such as the Scorpion. That's why I always make it a rule to sleep well and eat well. So, for breakfast, I pick a cereal like Rice Chex or Wheat Chex. They're chock full of energy and really taste good. You'll like them.
No other cereal, puffed or flaked, contains so much nourishment in such concentrated bite-sized form. So take a tip from Bob Love, Phil Housen, and other top test pilots. Make your cereals Rice Chex and Wheat Chex. And here's big news. Inside a Chex, you now get a thrilling new Space Patrol trading card. Flip 'em, trade 'em, collect a whole set of 40. Free Space Patrol trading cards inside of Rice Chex and Wheat Chex. Be sure to see another exciting Space Patrol program on your local ABC television station. Consult your local paper for time and channel. This program is broadcast for Armed Forces overseas through the worldwide facilities of the Armed Forces Radio Service. Space Patrol came to you transcribed from Hollywood. This is ABC Radio Network. Instant Ralston and Regular Ralston, the hot whole wheat cereals in the red and white checkerboard packages, present Space Patrol! High adventure in the wild, vast reaches of space. Missions of daring in the name of interplanetary justice. Travel into the future with Buzz Corey, Commander-in-Chief of the Space Patrol! In today's transcribed Space Patrol adventure, Buzz and Happy, helpless from the effects of a paralyzer ray, are in a lab ship out beyond the Jupiter orbit.
Sure gave us a stiff charge with that ray, Commander. It isn't even beginning to wear off.
Yes, and every second we lie here, Rinker and Betts are getting farther away.
What's that?
That equipment over there.
The equipment? But I disconnected it.
Rinker must have hooked it up again. If that electrical charge builds up, this whole lab ship will be blown to pieces.
We'll return in just a moment with today's exciting Space Patrol adventure, The Wistful Wizard of Neptune's Moon. Attention, Space Patrol, prepare for invasion! Prepare for invasion! Hey, stop the whistle, stop the bells, hold everything. That's no invasion. That's a gang of Space Patrollers trying out their new monoview outer space helmets. This is Captain Dick Tufeld, Space Patrollers, right here to tell you all about the new and sensational monoview outer space helmet. A terrific helmet all of you can have for your very own. A whole foot high. It's got a sensational one-way eye plate that you can see out of, but nobody can see you. And when you look out that magic strata viewer, it's just like looking out at another planet. Everything has a strange and weird purple glow. It's built for real Space Patrollers, too. It has 2 full-size, real-for-sure-looking oxygen tanks and tubes printed on, and a gleaming lightning flash hood. Now, just think of the fun you can have with a monoview outer space helmet of your very own. And here's how to get it. Just buy a box of good hot Ralston. Then, with your name and address, send 25 cents in coin and the instant or regular Ralston box top to Space Patrol, Box 686, St. Louis, Missouri. That's Space Patrol, Box 686, St. Louis, Missouri. And now, today's Space Patrol adventure, The Wistful Wizard of Neptune's Moon. Commander Corey and Cadet Happy are making a brief tour of inspection of the spaceship emergency repair base on Neptune's second moon. In the routine life of the maintenance crew on this remote base, even an official inspection is regarded as a welcome relief from monotony. Right now, in the small recreation hall, the crew is putting on an informal home talent show in honor of Buzz and Happy. The 2 Space Patrollers are watching with amazement as an amateur magician completes a baffling trick.
Hey, this guy is great. What's his name, sir?
He was introduced as Wistful Wilbur, the Wizard of Neptune's Moon.
He acts as though he didn't know what he was doing, but he's terrific.
For my final trick, gentlemen, I'll need a volunteer from the audience. Will one of you men kindly come out here? Anybody. It won't matter because I've never tried this trick before in public. Cadet, would you mind?
Me?
Go ahead, Happy.
Oh, okay, sir.
Right out here, Cadet.
What do you want me to do?
Oh, just slide on the bench.
Sure, okay.
And now, gentlemen, when I say the magic word, why, the cadet here will rise up in the air and stand there till I tell him to come down. Now, watch closely. Arturus Kazan, rise.
What's happening? Hey, let me down.
You see, the cadet floats in midair. Thank you. Cadet, you may descend.
Smoking rockets, what a sensation.
Well, gentlemen, I got to get back to the work at the shop, so that concludes my part of the performance.
Later that evening, in another part of the repair base on Neptune's second moon, 2 men wait in a neat, well-equipped shop.
Betts, you can't be serious about this fellow, Wilbur, what's his name?
Crawford. Wilbur Crawford, I tell you, Rinker, he's a wonder.
What you've described is impossible. You've been taken in by a few sleight-of-hand tricks and optical illusions. You're just a good amateur magician, nothing more.
Rinker, haven't you heard of telekinesis, the control of physical objects by the human mind?
Sure, the theory's hundreds of years old, but it's never been proved.
Yeah, just the same, there are lots of intelligent scientists who believe it can be done.
Well, maybe. But I'll have to see it to believe it.
You saw it tonight in the recreation hall.
A trick, an illusion.
All right, have it your way. But you'll have to admit that Wilbur Crawford would be mighty useful to us if he can move objects without touching.
You seriously think he could take that microfilm from Lauren Wilson without Wilson being aware of it?
That's right. And without being suspected.
Suppose Crawford won't agree to try it.
Leave that to me. Take some time. Let me do the talk.
The Wistful wizard of Neptune's moon.
Sorry it took me so long to get here, gentlemen. I had a hard time getting away from the gang at the rec hall.
That's all right, Crawford. Hey, nice act you put up.
Oh, it's nothing really. But you gentlemen didn't come here to discuss the magic act, did you? You said something was wrong with some of the instruments?
Yes, that's right, Crawford. The calibration is all off.
The calibration? Why, that's impossible. I checked them carefully on the testing equipment right here.
Yes, Crawford, the calibrations match perfectly when you run it. Unconsciously, your mind controls those instruments. They register exactly what you as a skilled machinist know they should register, even when they're out of adjustment. Let's face it, you have a strange and rare power that can move solid objects just by thought.
Yes.
Isn't that right?
Yes, but please don't tell the foreman. I wouldn't be able to work here.
Crawford, how would you like to work for Mr. Rinker and me?
You mean you're willing to take a chance on me?
Sure. We'll take you to Neptune tonight. You can fly to Terra in style. In a space flight passenger special.
That sounds wonderful. Terra. Is that where your headquarters is?
No, but we'll meet you there. There's a little side job we'd like to have you do on the way. It's right up your alley.
Oh?
You see, Mr. Betts and I have been cheated by a man named Wilson, Lauren Wilson. He has something that belongs to us.
Why don't you go to the Space Patrol?
No, that wouldn't do any good. Wilson's too clever. If you can get our property away from Wilson without any trouble at all.
What do you mean?
You'll be aboard the same passenger ship as Wilson. Without any risk at all, you can concentrate on...
2 days later, in a central office on the man-made planet Terra, Commander Corey listens gravely as a prominent industrialist tells a strange story. At a nearby desk, Cadet Happy takes notes.
Those are the facts, Commander. The reel of microfilm definitely disappeared while I was aboard the Spaceflight Express between Neptune and Terra.
And the sealed can containing the microfilm was in your inside coat pocket at all times.
Yes, Commander.
You say this microfilm contained a detailed description of a new ion exchange process.
It's a formula that's worth millions, Commander. It would revolutionize manufacturing in several basic industries.
Is there a possibility that someone outside of your trusted associates knew about this process?
One man may know about it, but you can be sure he wasn't on that spaceship.
He could have an agent. Who is this man?
His name is Anson Rinker. I've learned he's on Terra. I had the misfortune to have some dealings with him a year or so ago.
What kind of dealing?
He operates a lab ship, a pretty well-equipped one. I hired him to do a little field work for me. I fired him when I found him analyzing my private papers instead of chemicals.
Well, there's one way to find out if Rinker knows anything about the missing microfilm.
How, sir?
Ask him. What's his address?
Bet you expecting anyone?
No. Maybe it's a client.
Maybe you and Crawford better step into the next room.
Sure, Mr. Rinker.
Leave the door ajar, Betts. If this turns into a business deal, I'd like to have a witness.
Sure, Rinker. I get it.
Oh. Yes, gentlemen?
I'm looking for Anson Rinker.
That's me. Something wrong?
I'd like to ask you a few questions. I'm Commander Corey.
Yes, Commander. Come in.
Thanks. Come on, Happy.
Yes, sir.
Rinker, do you know Lauren Wilson?
The manufacturer? Yes. Nothing happened to him, I hope.
He was robbed.
Oh? Surely you don't think that...
If you know nothing about the robbery, then you wouldn't object to taking a brainograph test.
A brainograph test? Now, see here,
I
Commander.
guarantee that we'll ask you only one question. I'll tell you what it is right now. Do you have any knowledge of the theft of a roll of microfilm belonging to Lauren Wilson? Now, will you come down to headquarters and submit to that one question on the brainograph?
Well, this comes as somewhat of a shock, as being suspected of such a crime. I'd like
Hear
a
that,
moment
Crawford?
to think about it.
We've got to get Mr. Rinker out of this.
But if that microfilm is really Mr. Rinker's and not Mr. Wilson's, the brainograph will prove it.
Don't you see? Wilson and Corey are in a conspiracy. Wilson will use his money and influence to show that he's just the victim instead of the real thief. And you'll be arrested along with poor Mr. Rinker.
But I didn't do anything wrong. I was only helping Mr. Rinker get his own property back.
Just try to prove that. Look, we've got to stop Corey.
But they're armed.
Now, yeah. But I think you could do something about them. Huh, Prophet?
You want me to...
Right.
Now, Mr. Winker, are you coming with us?
I'll ask my partner. Betts, should I go along?
I don't think it'll be necessary, Mr. Rinker.
Thank you, Betts. I'm staying here, Commander.
You had your chance to come willingly, Winker. Keep them both covered, Happy.
Yes, sir. Commander, my ray gun's gone.
And yours is gone, too, isn't it, Commander? However, Mr. Betts is armed.
Get Rinker, Hap.
Let him have it, Betts. Splendid work, Betts. You too, Crawford. You disarmed them from clear across the room. Now, come on, let's get to our ship and blast off while Corey and the cadet are unconscious.
We'll return to Space Patrol in just a moment.
Ready, Captain Cousel? Got your helmet?
Helmet set.
Eye plate in place?
Check.
Oxygen tanks full up?
Check again, Space Patroller.
Then helmets on and let's go.
Yes, sir, Space Patrollers. We're off on a trip to the Purple Planet. How do we get there? Just by putting on our Montague outer space helmets. And, gang, when you put on your own space helmet, you'll be looking out on another world. A weird, strange purple planet. You can look out, but that magic one-way eye plate won't let anybody else see in. The Montague outer space helmet is a whole foot high. It fits just anybody. And it's equipped with 2 full-size, honest-to-goodness-looking oxygen tanks fitted right on. And a neat lightning flash hood. It comes in real space colors, too. Red, yellow, green, and black. Yes, it's sure terrific, so you better get yours right away. Just buy a box of good hot Ralston. Then with your name and address, send 25 cents in coin and an instant Ralston or regular Ralston box top to Space Patrol, Box 686, St. Louis, Missouri. This offer good only in the USA and may be withdrawn at any time. And now, back to our Space Patrol adventure, the Wistful Wizard of Neptune's Moon. Wilbur Crawford, a precision machinist, possesses the rare power of controlling the movement of objects by sheer thought. Through trickery, Crawford has been persuaded to use this strange talent to steal a microfilm description of a valuable chemical process from Loren Wilson, a prominent industrialist. When Wilson's suspicions led Commander Corey and Cadet Happy to the apartment of Anson Rinker, chief conspirator in the theft plot, the gullible Crawford was induced to disarm Buzz and Happy by means of his weird control over matter. Then Rinker's partner Betts drew a ray gun, rendered the Space Patrollers unconscious, and the 3 men escaped. It's now an hour later, and Buzz and Happy are shaking off the effects of the ray gun.
You know one thing, Hap. Rinker is behind the theft of Wilson's chemical process.
Yeah, and that magician Crawford must have done the actual stealing.
And we won't find a solution standing here talking. Rush back to headquarters and send out an all-planets alarm for the 3 of them.
Meantime, far from the regular space lanes, a spaceship blasts through the void. 2 men watch the rear view scope anxiously, while the third sits in moody silence. Finally, Wilbur Crawford raises his head.
I've been thinking it over, Mr. Rinker. I don't want to run away.
Don't be foolish, Crawford. You realize what'll happen if the Space Patrol finds you?
I don't care. I'm willing to take my chances with the Space Patrol.
Look, I know you don't like being a fugitive, but don't worry. When we sell Wilson's chemical process, we can hide out in style the rest of our lives.
Wilson's process? Then you were lying to me. I wasn't getting back something that belonged to you after all.
I guess I gave it away, Rinker. Sorry.
It's time our wizard here got wise to himself anyway. Crawford, you've got a talent we could use. So we used it.
You'll never use it again, and neither will I.
Oh, I think we will. You've got a younger sister, I believe.
Sister? I don't know what you're talking about.
Your sister Verna, a math teacher at Lowell City High School on Mars. Lovely girl. Plans to get married next summer, I understand.
What's my sister got to do with this?
Nothing. Except that I'm going to contact one of my men on Mars and suggest that he look after Verna.
You leave her alone, do you hear?
Just behave yourself and cooperate with Mr. Betts and me, and nothing will happen to your sister. What do you say, Crawford?
What are you going to do with me?
For the time being, we'll stay out here beyond the regular lanes. Then we'll go to Mars and transfer to my lab ship. By that time, the Space Patrol will figure we're headed toward one of the outer planets.
Then we're going to hide out on Mars, eh?
No. We'll head for Mercury. We'll leave Mars as soon as we can.
You aren't going to try to land in Lowell City, are you?
Of course not. My lab ship is several DUs north of the city, near the old bauxite mine. But you don't have to worry about that, Crawford.
Now, just do what you're told, and you'll keep your sister in good health.
Yeah. Get on the spacer phone. Betts will put through that crawler on Man in Lowell City.
Okay. Hey, what are you talking about? The space phone's already on. You just flipped the switch yourself.
I did? I guess I must have. Funny how an action gets to be automatic. Brinker aboard Space Cruiser NP.
In Space Patrol headquarters on Terra, Commander Corey gives Cadet Happy a printed copy of a space-phone conversation picked up by the monitoring station.
Well, where was the spaceship that was sending this?
400,000 DUs from Terra, 70 degrees above the plane of our orbit.
What's our next move, sir?
I've already assigned 3 of our Mars agents to guard Crawford's sister, Werner. He'd better be getting to the spaceport.
Going after Rinker, huh?
I figure we've got time to reach his lab ship north of Lowell City before Rinker gets there. We'll give him a surprise party.
What about our ship? Suppose there's no place to hide it near the mine.
We won't try to hide it. We'll pick up a pilot in Lowell City and have him drop us off near Rinker's hideout. Come on, Happy. The Martian sun is low on the horizon when a private cruiser blasts into the thin atmosphere and heads for a gouged and furrowed area north of Lowell City. After a careful check in all directions, Ensign Rinker sets the cruiser down in the red dust close to a lab ship. In an aft compartment of that ship, Cadet Happy presses a sensitive instrument against the bulkhead while Commander Corey slowly regulates a dial.
In the ship now, that was the hatch closing. When do we jump in?
I'll find out for sure whose side Crawford is on.
We're blasting off.
Just make yourself comfortable here in this compartment, Crawford. Wait if you like. A long way to Mercury, back to Whitman.
Why can't I go up to the control compartment?
Because Mr. Rinker thinks you'll be better off back here where you can't see the instrument. Something wrong, Yeager?
Plenty.
Then let's get back to the control.
Well, the ship's okay. It's on automatic. But the space patrol's onto us.
Huh?
I just got a spaceophone message from a man who was to pick up Crawford's sister. That's the space patrol is guarding her. Our man was almost captured.
I don't get it.
How'd they find out where we were going to?
Unless Wonder Boy here.
Sure, he turned our spaceophone transmitter on when we were in the other ship.
I might have known it. Crawford, I ought to not...
Better not bet. The Space Patrol knows everything now. You don't have a chance.
I'm not giving up that easy. They don't know everything. They'll be looking for the lab ship. Now, what if...
Hold it.
Huh?
Don't let Crawford know what we're going to do. With that remote control mind of his, there's no telling what he can do.
Yeah, you're right. Well, I'll just fix that. There, he can't do anything when he's unconscious. Now, here's what
It's working now, huh? Here, I'll turn up the gain.
That little scout ship will move. Sure it will. Put him in the Wistful. Just leave it in that. Uh-huh. But we'll make sure he won't give us any more trouble. There are a lot of chemicals in the lab compartment, enough to pull this ship apart, you think that? We'll rig up something to blow up the ship after we get away. And I know just the gadget the time the explosion come on.
Those murdering rats. Now's the time to get them.
Wait, Happy. They know this lab layout. We don't. If we rush them now, they may try something desperate. Moments pass, tedious moments that seem like hours. Then, through the sonic detector, Buzz and Happy hear voices again.
Now's the time to cut loose in the scout ship. No, not yet. Put a few more hundred DUs between us and Mars.
All right, Happy. Let's get to the lab compartment. Bring the sonic detector along.
Yes, sir.
In here, Happy. Shut the door.
Is this what they're going to blow the ship up with?
What they plan to use. This device here builds up an electrical charge very gradually, at a steady rate. When it reaches a certain intensity, the charge is released into these chemicals.
Wow. Sort of a time bomb.
Exactly. Pull that switch, Happy.
Yes, sir.
Now let's work our way up to the control compartment and take care of that.
Look, isn't it about time, Rinker?
Yeah, we might as well get going. I'll go back to the lab and boost the current a little.
Well, that's been worrying. What if you miscalculate?
I know what I'm doing. I'll readjust the charge so we'll have half an hour to get clear of the ship.
Somebody's in the corridor.
I heard it, too.
It's Crawford.
I doubt it. You open that door fast. I'll be ready with the paralyzer makeup. Okay. Ready? Now.
Commander, they've seen it.
You're too late, Corey.
Nice going, Rinker.
Yeah, it was close. Well, Crawford's going to have company during his last moments anyway.
Yeah. The commander-in-chief, no less. And his cadet.
Moments later, Rinker and Betts, far out in space, are in their tiny scout ship. And in the doomed lab ship, Buzz and Happy are regaining the use of their vocal cords, even though the paralyzer ray still numbs the rest of their body.
Well, at least we got off better than Crawford did. They must have slugged him. Look at his head.
He's out cold.
Well, he ought to be able to move in a few minutes, Hap, then we'll get to the controls.
What's that?
The equipment over there.
The equipment? But I disconnected it.
They hooked it up again. That electrical charge builds up, this whole ship will be blown to pieces.
Smoking rockets by the looks of those sparks. Well, it won't be long now. Commander, Crawford's coming too.
Crawford. Crawford.
Yes. What happened? Crawford, do you hear that? It's a time bomb Rinker sent. And if you don't get up and pull that switch, we'll be blown up. I can't move. Oh, sure. They gave you a blast with a paralyzer ray, too.
Crawford, there isn't much time left for any of it.
I know. And I want to get it all off of my chest. I stole that microfilm from Wilson, but I didn't think it was rightfully his. That's the truth, honest.
I believe you. How did you do it?
Rinker and Betts called it telekinesis.
The power of the mind to control matter. Crawford, try it now. Try it on that switch.
Switch? What switch?
That big one at the bottom of the control panel.
You'd better hurry.
All right, Happy, let's concentrate.
Hey, you did it. You did it, Crawford.
Elsewhere on their tiny scout ship, Rinker and Betts cruise on low power, waiting for a distant flash that will tell them that Buzz, Happy, and Crawford have been destroyed.
You must have miscalculated, Rinker. The ship should have blown up by now.
I don't understand it.
Hey, Rinker, look. Look at the view scope. There's a spaceship.
Confounded Betts, why weren't you watching?
Look, I've been looking for the explosion. The lab ship. Our lab ship.
Now, don't get panicky. We could probably outmaneuver him until Thacker gets here from Mercury.
Yeah.
What's wrong? The controls won't respond.
Do something, Rinker. Corey's almost close enough to pull us in with the magnetic holding field.
What's the matter with these controls?
Commander Corey aboard lab ship ML-284. Holding Anson Rinker aboard scout ship. Cut your power.
Corey, all right. What are we going to do?
Better cut your power, Rinker. Try to fight the magnetic holding field. You'll pull the skin right off that little space boat.
He's right. He's right. Do what he said.
Yeah. All right, Corey. You win. But if these controls hadn't fouled up...
They didn't foul up, Rinker. They worked beautifully. They were operated from this ship.
What?
That's right, Rinker. And here's the fellow that helped capture you. The Wistful Wizard of Neptune's moon.
You can have this wizard business. From now on, I'm just a plain Wistful mechanic.
An action preview of next week's exciting Space Patrol adventure in just a moment. Hey, Space Patrollers, what's that? What's going on over at the Brown's house? Uh-oh, I know now what the trouble is. Jimmy's got his monoview outer space helmet on.
Hi, Captain Two-Fells. Even my own dog doesn't know me with my new helmet on. Just got it this morning. Sure is swell.
That's right, Jimmy. You can see out.
But nobody else can see in. Fooled 3 of my pals already today.
Yes, that two-way mirror strataviewer will do it every time.
Feel like a real spaceman, too, with oxygen tanks, breathing tubes, and lightning flash hood printed right on.
Yes, and you look like one, too. Now, how about you, Space Patrollers? I bet you'd all like to have one, wouldn't you? Well, all it cost you is 25 cents. That's right, only 25 cents, and the top from a box of instant Ralston or regular Ralston. Yes, sir, gang, just a quarter and a box top for the sensational, terrific, full-size monoview outer space helmet. So buy a package of good, hot Ralston today. And then with your name and address, send 25 cents in coin and the instant or regular Ralston box top to Space Patrol, Box 686, St. Louis, Missouri. That's Space Patrol, Box 686, St. Louis, Missouri. Attention, all Space Patrollers. All Space Patrollers. Attention. This is your commander with big news that you've been waiting for. News about the Name the Planet contest. Next week, you will hear the name of the grand prize winner in the Name the Planet contest. Yes, in just 7 days, you'll know the name of the space patroller who wins my rocket ship and $1,500 cash. And who knows, it may be you. So stand by and be sure you're listening to Space Patrol next week for the name of the grand prize winner in the great Name the Planet contest. And now, a preview of next week's exciting Space Patrol adventure. Commander Corey, at the controls of the Terra 5, pilots the ship close to a strange, disc-shaped object floating above the planet Venus. Cadet Happy is on the disc in a spacesuit, reporting to the commander by spaceophone. Can you make anything out of those controls and instruments, Happy?
Well, no, sir. They're nothing like you'd find in a spaceship or artificial satellite, and besides, they're not even connected.
The disc seems to be defying gravity. Don't touch anything, Hap.
You see, these wires are just hanging loose. It looks like they've been yanked away from... Hey, Commander, what's wrong?
The disc is falling toward Venus. Be sure to join us next week for the thrilling story in The Claw of Venus, when Instant Ralston and Regular Ralston again present Space Patrol! Space Patrol, created by Mike Moser, starring Ed Kemmer as Commander Corey and then Osborne as Cadet Happy, was written by Lou Houston, produced and directed by Larry Robertson, executive producer Mike Devery. Other players were Bela Kovacs, Norman Jolly, Ken Mayer, and Stephen Robertson. Dick Tufeld speaking. Now, don't forget to tune in next Saturday and every Saturday when Instant Ralston and Regular Ralston again present Space Patrol! This is Dick Tufeld in Los Angeles, reporting on the first airplane with swept-back wings used in the U.S. Air Force, North American's F-86 Sabre jet fighter. In a moment, we'll hear from George Welch, the famous test pilot on the Sabre jet. The Sabre is 37 feet long, weight 8 tons. Wings are swept back at a 35-degree angle. Top speed more than 650 miles per hour. Now, George Welch recorded at Edwards Air Force Base.
I was lucky enough to fly the F-86 Sabre jet for the first time. The first time up, or the 50th, every flight is important. That's why I have to keep in top shape. I like to eat good food with lots of energy in it. Rice Chex and Wheat Chex meet that test, and they taste exactly right. I think you'll like them, too.
No other cereal, puffed or flaked, contains so much nourishment in such concentrated bite-sized form. So take a tip from George Welch, Joe Lynch, and other top test pilots. Make your cereals Rice Chex and Wheat Chex. And here's big news. Inside of Chex, you now get a thrilling new Space Patrol trading card. Flip 'em, collect the entire set of 40. Free Space Patrol trading cards inside of Rice Chex and Wheat Chex. Be sure to see another exciting Space Patrol story on your local ABC television station. Consult your local paper for time and channel. This program is broadcast for Armed Forces overseas through the worldwide facilities of the Armed Forces Radio Service. Space Patrol came to you transcribed from Hollywood. This is ABC Radio Network.
Instant Ralston and Regular Ralston, the hot whole wheat cereals in the red and white checkerboard packages, present Space Patrol! High adventure in the wild, vast reaches of space. Missions of daring in the name of interplanetary justice. Travel into the future with Buzz Corey, Commander-in-Chief of the Space Patrol! In today's transcribed Space Patrol adventure, Commander Corey, at the controls of the Terra 5, pilots the ship close to a strange, disc-shaped object floating above the planet Venus. Cadet Happy is on the disc in a spacesuit, reporting to the commander by spaceophone.
Can you make anything out of those instruments and controls, Happy?
No, sir, they're nothing like you'd find in a spaceship or artificial satellite, and besides, they're not even connected.
The disc seems to be defying gravity. Don't touch anything, Hap.
These wires are just hanging loose. Looks like they've been yanked away from the... Hey, Commander, what's wrong?
The disc is falling toward Venus.
We'll return in just a moment with today's exciting Space Patrol adventure in the Claw of Venus. Hi, Space Patrollers. Captain Dick Tufeld here. Got a riddle for you this morning. You ready? Here goes. What can you see out of, but nobody can see in? The answer? Easy. The new sensational Monoview Outer Space Helmet. It's a whole foot high, slips on right over your head, and rests on your shoulders. Yes, sir, it's a neat, complete disguise. And wait till you get your first look through that special one-way eye plate. It's like magic. You're whisked right out of this world into a strange, purple, glowing planet. You see everything clear as day, but tinted with a weird purple glow. And what's more, the Monoview outer space helmet has a gleaming red and jet black lightning flash hood. And swell, real-looking oxygen tanks and breathing tubes printed right on. But best of all, this helmet is yours for only 25 cents and a box top. Now, gang, here's how you get it. Just buy a box of good hot Ralston. Then, with your name and address, send 25 cents in coin and an instant or regular Ralston box top to Space Patrol, Box 686, St. Louis, Missouri. That's Space Patrol, Box 686, St. Louis, Missouri. This offer is good only in the USA and may be withdrawn at any time. And now, here's a special Space Patrol flash. Immediately following today's adventure, Commander Corey will announce the name of the grand prize winner in the Name the Planet contest. And now, today's Space Patrol adventure in the Claw of Venus. Commander Corey's space battlecruiser, the Terra 5, skims low over the mountains of the planet Venus. Controlled by Cadet Happy, sensitive infrared beams reach through the heavy, dark mist to feel the shapes of the craggy peaks below. Toward the east, eerie blue flashes of lightning signal the approach of a storm. With his eyes on the viewscope screens and a bank of instruments, Buzz Corey threads the needle-nosed ship through its hazardous course.
We're nearly there, Happy. The probe beam should be picking out Sharn's tower any minute now.
Well, we sure got a break from that storm, sir. We'll be right on top of him before he knows we're coming.
Unless one of his men tipped him off.
But even if they did, he wouldn't have time to dispose of the stolen zolanite.
I hope not. But to prove our case, we've got to find more than 5 pounds of zolanite on Sharn's premises.
5 pounds? Well, 100 pounds were stolen from Saturn.
I know, but zolanite is so rare that the government knows the location of every bit of it. Not counting the stolen supply, of course.
Well, then Sharn has 5 pounds of it legitimately.
That's right.
Well, Commander, isn't that a tower up there ahead on the side of the mountain?
That's it, Hap. As we land, we'll not lose any time getting out of the ship. If Sharn does have the zolanite, we're in for trouble.
Near the summit of a mountain, Sharn's tower rises into the mist, dwarfing 2 squat stone buildings huddled at the base. In the top chamber of the tower, Gaston Sharn barks instructions to his assistant, Richard Durant.
Durant, did you hear what I said?
What was that, Sharn?
I said 10,000 volts. What's the matter with you today?
Oh, it's that storm. I don't like working here in this kind of weather. It makes me nervous.
Afraid of thunder. I thought you were supposed to be a scientist.
It's not the thunder, it's the lightning. And here we are in this tower with all this apparatus.
10,000 volts, Mr. Durant, if you please.
All right. 9250, 9500, 9800. Look out! It's too much. I warned you, the circuit's overloaded.
Well, put in a heavier coil.
What's that?
It's a spaceship. It's landing.
I told you we'd get into trouble.
How do you know we're in trouble?
Look, it's a space patrol ship. The zolanite. We'll have to hide it.
How can we hide it? It's already inside an Endurium shield welded to an Endurium platform.
But, Sean, what'll we do?
Go down and meet them. Keep them out of the tower if possible, and try to keep that guilty look off your face. They probably aren't looking for zolanite anyway.
But what if they are?
I know my rights, Durant. You just keep your mouth shut and let me do the talking.
Hurrying down to the living quarters in one of the low buildings adjoining the tower, Gaston Sharn hastily spreads several technical books on a table and then settles himself in a chair in an attitude of leisurely concentration. A moment later, Durant greets Buzz and Happy and leads them into the study.
Well, gentlemen, this is a welcome break in a monotonous day. Yes, sit down, won't you?
No, thanks. Your name is Sharn, isn't it?
Yes. And you must be Commander Corey by your insignia.
Yes. I'll get right to the point, Sharn. I have a warrant from the Venus Justice Department authorizing a complete search of your premises.
I'm afraid I don't understand, Commander. A search? What for?
Sharn, 100 pounds of zolanite was stolen from the government freight depot at Saturn City.
100 pounds? Well, I didn't know there was that much zolanite in the universe.
How much do you have here?
Oh, about 5 pounds.
Happy, hand me the zolanite detector.
Yes, sir. Here you are.
Now, let's see what we can pick up.
It's working all right, Commander.
Of course it is. 5 pounds of zolanite is enough to set up quite a reaction.
It's true. It could be 5 pounds 20 feet away or 100 pounds 400 feet away. How about it, Sean? Can you move 20 feet and produce your zolanite?
Perhaps the storm has some confusing effect on your detector.
Very unlikely. Judging by the indicator, we'll find some zolanite up in your tower. Let's have a look. Cut the detector half. Come on, Sean.
Very well, if you insist.
You and Durant lead the way.
Very well. Through this door, gentlemen. This corridor leads to the tower.
Look out! I've been struck by lightning. I told you, John.
Get a grip on yourself, Durant. You're not hurt.
Yeah, if you'd been hit by lightning, you wouldn't be able to brag about it.
A bolt hit the tower, just like I said it would.
Well, we're not hurt. We'll go up and investigate.
No. The tower is damaged. What if the lightning strikes again?
Commander.
Yes, Hap.
That flash must have put the zolanite detector out of commission. See, it isn't picking up a thing.
That's strange. You didn't get a shock or a burn, did you?
No, sir.
We better not risk the elevator after that bolt. We'll use the stairs. I'll go first. Hap, you watch Durant and Sean.
The lab is right through that door, Commander.
Smoke and rockets. What happened to the roof?
A bolt of lightning blasted out the whole top of the tower.
Yeah, and it wrecked the floor, too. Yeah, it's lucky it didn't collapse.
I don't understand it.
What do you mean, Durant?
That huge Endurium platform, it's disintegrated, vanished, just like it never existed.
The walls are seared, but there's hardly any trace of molten metal. Strange. Happy, try that detector again.
Yes, sir. It's working, sir, but it's sure a low reading.
It's probably picking up this small fragment of zolanite.
Yes, that's zolanite, all right.
Which proves that your detector is working, and in turn proves that I do not have the stolen 100 pounds of this stuff.
Yeah, it looks like the lightning destroyed all our evidence, Commander.
And in that case, I should appreciate it if you gentlemen would leave, so I may silently contemplate my tragic loss.
All right, Sean. There's nothing I can do now but watch your step. Next time it'll take more than a bolt of lightning to save you. Come on, Happy.
Returning to their ship, Buzz and Happy head back to Venus City.
Doggone it, sir. That storm couldn't have done Sharn a bigger favor if it had it made to order.
Base Control, Venus City calling all spaceborne traffic using approach lane 3, level 7. Emergency warning. An unidentified object has been reported hovering at a distance of 17 DUs over Venus. Ships approaching in lane 3, level 7, use caution. This disc-shaped object last reported hovering over the following position.
Get this, Happy.
Yes, sir.
Latitude 15 degrees, 23 minutes north. Longitude 97 degrees, 2 minutes, 15 seconds east. Altitude 17 DUs. Space Control, Venus City out.
I wonder what it is, Commander.
Whatever it is, it should be removed. Have you checked its location on the chart, Hap?
I'll have it in a second, sir. It's just about here.
Oh, that's right near us.
Yes, sir.
Turn on the space phone, Hap.
Right.
Commander Corey aboard Terra 5, calling Space Control, Venus City. Commander Corey to Space Control, Venus City.
Space Control, Venus City, go ahead, Commander.
I'm checking on your report of this unidentified object. What's being done to remove it from the space lane?
Nothing as yet, Commander. Colonel Yeager is waiting for a report from Space Platform Observatory number 2. They're trying to identify the object.
You said it was disc-shaped. How big is it?
About 20 feet in diameter and quite thin and flat. There's no sign of rocket power or any other force. It's been over that same position on Venus for more than an hour. It just seems to hang there. That's all the information I have, sir.
All right, Space Control. Inform Colonel Yeager that I'm going to investigate this object. Corey out. All right, Hap, we'll have a close look at this thing. Get your spacesuit on in case we have to attach a line and tow it out of the space lane.
Moments later, Buzz and Happy bring their spaceship close to a gleaming metal disc. They circle it at a velocity just high enough to counteract the gravity pull of the planet Venus, 17 DUs below them.
I wouldn't have believed it if I hadn't seen it. It's not underpowered. There's no sign of any rocket burst.
It's certainly unmanned.
Yeah, the disc is too thin for anything larger than a dog to be inside it. I wonder what that stuff is on top. Some sort of electrical equipment, maybe?
What's it connected to? See those cables dangling?
Commander, since I've got my spacesuit on, why can't I board that disc and examine it?
Well, all right, Hap, but watch your step.
Skillfully, Buzz matches the velocity of his ship to that of the strange disc. as Happy stands in the airlock with the outer hatch open. Carefully, Buzz maneuvers the Terra 5 closer to the disc, and Happy crosses over.
I made it, sir. I'm on the disc.
Remember, Hap, this isn't outer space. If you slip here, you go down, and 17 DUs is a long way to fall.
I'll be careful, sir.
I'll drop back so I can see you better through the nose port. Can you make anything out of it, Hap?
Not yet, but somehow I get the feeling that this whole object is part of something else.
What makes you think that?
Well, the bolts and brackets on the disc. It looks like it had been fastened to something and pulled loose. And these controls, they're nothing like anything you'd find in a spaceship or artificial satellite. And besides, they're not even connected.
Well, don't touch them, Hap. Never can tell.
These wires are just hanging loose. It looks like they've been yanked away from... Hey, Commander, what's wrong with the ship? You're moving away.
It isn't the ship, it's you. The disc is falling toward Venus.
We'll return to Space Patrol in just a moment. Hi, Space Patrollers. Captain Tufeld again. Right now I'm in the mail room at Space Patrol headquarters. You hear that? That's our stamping machine pounding away like mad. Just listen to those packages going down that mail chute. Man, oh man, it seems like just about every Space Patroller in the universe wants one of those terrific Monoview outer space helmets. There are hundreds, no, thousands of orders coming in. Say, how about you? Have you sent for your helmet yet? The one and only outer space helmet you can see out of, but nobody can see in. The wonderful helmet with honest-to-goodness looking oxygen tanks and breathing tubes printed right on it. The sensational helmet with the gleaming lightning flash hood and specially constructed outer space ear plates. The helmet that's just like the one Commander Corey wears. Now, to get one, just buy a box of good hot Ralston. Then, with your name and address, send 25 cents and an instant or regular Ralston box top to Space Patrol, Box 686, St. Louis, Missouri. That's Space Patrol, Box 686, St. Louis, Missouri. Now, Space Patrollers, if you've already sent away for your Monoview outer space helmet, you may have to wait a few extra days. You see, we've been getting so many orders, the Space Patrol mailroom is swamped and working overtime to get them out. So you better hurry now, because this offer soon ends. Send for yours today. And remember, stand by, Space Patrollers, for the name of the grand prize winner in the Name the Planet contest in just a few minutes. And now, back to our Space Patrol adventure in the Claw of Venus. Returning from the remote mountain laboratory of Gaston Shane, who's suspected of stealing a supply of rare, valuable minerals, zolanite, Buzz and Happy rose high above the surface of Venus to investigate a strange disc-shaped object that unaccountably remained suspended over one position on Venus. Donning his spacesuit, Happy stepped from the airlock of the Terra 5 onto the disc to examine it. He touched a dangling piece of wire. There was a flash, and the disc sharply responded to gravity, falling toward Venus, carrying Happy with it. As Commander Corey hastily maneuvers the spaceship, Happy drops away with rapidly increasing velocity.
Happy, can you hear me?
Yes, Commander.
I'm going to try to get you off that disc before you fall into the Venus atmosphere. Hap, how much space between you and the airlock?
About 50 feet.
Have we matched velocity?
Yes, sir. The ship and this disc are falling at the same rate.
I'm going to pull over closer. Guide me.
That's it, Commander. A little more. More. Hold it. I can reach the airlock now.
Okay, climb aboard. We're going to have to pull out of this trajectory, and I'm going to try to take the disc with us. Apply magnetic holding field.
Yes, sir. It's in the field, sir.
We've got it. I hope we can hold it on a sharp pull-out. It's an awful strain on the hull of the ship. I'm afraid it's too late.
Seems a shame to cut it loose.
Check the infrared viewscope, Hap, to see where the disc will land if it continues this trajectory.
Yes, sir. It'll land in the Venus Sea, or along the coast, somewhere in the Gartoga Mountains. Commander, what's that?
I just turned on the zolanite detector.
Something must be wrong. There's no zolanite around... Hey, on the disc.
Right. We'll try to make the disc land where we can recover it again. Cut magnetic holding field. We'll track it in the viewscope and see where it falls. Keep it centered, Hap, while I level off.
Yes, sir. I don't get it, Commander. Zolanite out here on that disc. Well, how did it get there?
Remember that hole in the roof of Sharn's tower?
Yeah, the lightning.
Wouldn't you say that hole was the same size and shape as the disc?
Why, yes. Then that disc was in Sharn's tower.
It's the Endurian platform Durant said was disintegrated.
Oh, that's why we didn't see any molten metal. The whole platform shot up through the roof. But, well, what made it stay suspended 17 DUs above Venus?
The tremendous voltage in that bolt of lightning produced some peculiar effect on the Zolanite.
And it nullified gravity.
It's the only explanation. Maintained the momentum of Venus's rotation on its axis, but soared upward till it reached a point of equilibrium.
A new force. Wow. Think what that'll mean to space travel. Hey, we've got to recover that disk and have some experts check it.
Yes, but first I want two particular experts to check it. The men that accidentally discovered this new force.
Charn and Durant?
Right. When they see the viewscope microfilm of that disk and learn where the object landed, I think they'll get just a little bit...
Several hours later, Charn and Durant sit watching the Interplanet News telecast.
The strange disc-shaped object that has been hovering over Venus has crashed.
Turn that up, Durant.
Yes, sure.
The pilot of a space patrol ship sent to investigate the gravity-defying disk reports that the object suddenly descended toward Venus, landing on the coast of the Venus Sea in the Gartoga Mountain region. Because of the difficulty of recovering the object, the space patrol will delay further investigation for several days, pending the arrival of a team of experts from Saturn. Now, here is a portion of viewscope microfilm taken from the space patrol ship sent to investigate the disk.
Look, Durant. You recognize it?
It's the Endurium platform from the lab.
This is the mysterious object that now lies in the area known as the Claw of Venus. And now, items from the universe of sports.
Cut it
Today
off.
in Mercury Stadium.
We've got to act quickly, Durant.
What do you mean?
We've got to get to the Claw of Venus and recover the Zolanite before those Space Patrol scientists get there.
But sure.
Don't argue. You realize we're the only ones in the universe who know that Zolanite can neutralize gravity?
I don't like it. It's dangerous.
Don't be a fool. We can control high voltages. Quick now. Get some cutting tools, and we'll blast off for the Claw of Venus.
Miles away, where huge breakers of the Venus Sea batter at the bluffs, a gleaming disk of Endurium lies embedded in shattered rocks on the shore. In a small cave nearby, two men in Space Patrol uniforms wait patiently.
Think they'll fall for it, Commander?
I think they will, Happy. Not only to get the Zolanite back, but to protect themselves. John knows that if we find the Zolanite, we can prove this Endurium platform came from his lab.
I hope they come pretty quick. Tide's coming in. In a few hours, this will all be underwater, including the disk.
Yeah.
Hey, Commander, you hear that?
It's a ship. Coming in for a landing on top of the bluff.
Must be Charn.
From their vantage point in the cave, Buzz and Happy watch Charn and Durant make their way down the steep cliff and start to work.
What did we lug that electro-welder down here for?
When we get the Zolanite out of the container, I want to seal things up a little, just to confuse the experts.
Well, I'm in favor of getting the Zolanite and heading back to the ship. The experts will know this disk has been tempered, but just from the marks of the atomo torch.
They might think the metal was fused by air friction in the fall. After all, it dropped 17 DU.
All right, Charn, Durant, drop those tools.
Hurry!
Happy, take Charn's blast gun.
Yes, sir. And give me that atomo torch, too, Charn.
Why, of course.
Here! Why, you...
Slug them, Durant.
Charn, let go of that torch!
Come on, Durant. Run for the cliff.
But we come this far. Let's finish them.
They're still conscious. Corey's got his ray gun. Come on, keep behind the rocks and run for the cliff.
Oh! Stop where you are! Oh!
We're safe. Up the cliff to the ship.
You've still got your blast gun. We can pick them off, then get the Zolanite.
Why use a blast gun on Corey and the cadet when we can get the same results another way?
Oh!
When we're past that first ledge, we'll blast the cliff with the gun. That'll leave Corey with a perpendicular wall to climb. Hurry, Durant.
Keep after them, Happy.
Yes, sir. I'm still dizzy from the crack on the head with that atomo torch. But I bet I can outclimb those two rats any day.
Happy, duck. Charn's aiming his blast gun.
Now, Corey, let me see you get out of that.
Smoking rockets, Commander. Look what he did. He blasted that overhanging rock. And there's no handhold, no foothold.
Just a sheer cliff.
And there they go, the rats. Commander, what are we going to do? The tide's coming in.
We can't scale the cliff, that's certain.
In a few minutes, the waves will be smashing us back against the cliff. We don't have a chance.
Wait, I think we do. A long chance, but it's worth a try. Come on, let's get to the disc.
To the disc?
Yes. Do you remember what you touched up there when the disc started to fall?
Well, yes, sir, that broken wire dangling from the panel. I accidentally brushed it against the Endurium. There was a flash, and I felt like I was going down in a fast elevator.
Apparently, you discharged electricity that was stored in the zolanite circuit, a charge that made the zolanite resist gravity. Now, if we could restore that charge, perhaps the disc would rise again.
But, Commander, what can we charge it with?
There's an electro-welder Sharn left behind. That generates considerable current.
As much as a bolt of lightning?
No, but perhaps we don't need that much.
Well, it's worth a try.
It'll mean taking the electro-welder apart with the atomo torch and rewiring it to the connections on the disc. Let's get to work.
Swiftly, Buzz and Happy work with the tools. Then, as the surf begins to surge around them, Buzz makes a final connection and they stand in the center of the Endurium disc.
All right, Happy. Take it easy. Start the electro-well generator. Very low at first.
Nothing's happening, sir.
Give it more voltage. Steady now. This takes hold suddenly.
Maybe the circuit was wrecked when the disc landed on the rocks. Hey, it's beginning to move. I can feel it. Look, we're rising.
Hold it, Happy. Hold it right there. We're a few inches off the ground. I'll get off and give the disc a shove toward the cliff. Then we can ride up the face of the cliff and jump off at the top.
Hey, that's right. It wouldn't be much good to us if just suspended in empty air.
It's hard to move, Hap.
Why is that? It's weightless now.
As far as Venus gravity is concerned, it's weightless, but it still has its mass and inertia.
Now it's moving toward the cliff, sir.
The inertia will carry it the rest of the way as we ascend. All right, Happy. Increase the voltage slightly.
Here we go, sir.
Hold her steady, Hap. We're rising fast enough.
Well, we made it. I wonder if Corey's got his feet wet by now. Let's walk down to the edge of the cliff a ways. We can't tell from here. All right. After all, we should shout goodbye before we blast off.
Why shout? We're right here.
I know.
Let's get him, Hap. It'll be a pleasure.
I think that'll take care of him.
Frankly, I'm sorry it's over so soon. I guess they don't have much fight left after that climb.
Oh. How did you get up the cliff?
On your gravity disc.
You worked the gravity disc?
That's right, Sharn. The idea came to the commander like a flash of lightning.
An action preview of next week's exciting Space Patrol adventure in just a moment.
Smoking rockets, I must be getting space happy. I'm seeing double again. Hey, who are you guys anyway? A couple of twin giants from Jupiter or twin space pirates from Pluto?
Well, we can see you, Cadet Happy. Yeah, clear as day.
Yeah, but I can't see you. I know. Because you've got your Monoview outer space helmets on.
Pretty neat, huh? Got oxygen tanks printed right on our helmets and big red lightning flashes on the hood. Pretty keen? You betcha. More than a foot high. Covers up our whole heads. Nobody can tell who we are.
Yep, you're real space patrollers, all right. Sure are. But jumping Jupiter, who are you anyway? Oh, come on, tell me.
I'm Space Patroller Donnie Smith reporting, sir. Space Patroller Johnny Smith here, sir.
Well, you guys sure had me fooled, that's for sure. And say, Space Patrollers, how about it? Why don't you send for your own swell new Monoview outer space helmet? You know, you just buy a box of good hot Ralston, then, with your name and address, send 25 cents in coin and the instant or regular Ralston box top to Space Patrol, Box 686, St. Louis 1, Missouri. That's Space Patrol, Box 686, St. Louis 1, Missouri. Get going right away, today.
And now, Space Patrollers, here's the big news. In just 2 seconds, Commander Corey will tell you the name of the grand prize winner in the Name the Planet contest.
Commander Corey here. The name of the grand prize winner, the space patroller who wins my giant rocket clubhouse with a big motor truck to pull it and $1,500 cash is... Ricky Walker. Ricky Walker of 315 Wagner Street, Washington, Illinois. Congratulations, Ricky. And Space Patrollers, be sure you're listening next week for more exciting news about the winners of the Name the Planet contest.
And now, a preview of next week's exciting Space Patrol adventure. At the end of a secret cavern on Saturn's 8th moon, a strange spaceship waits for the precise instant to blast off. Buzz and Happy, helpless at the point of a deadly heat gun, are forced down the cavern toward the ship.
Hurry up, both of you. There isn't much time.
Listen to us, Zobanek. These people or creatures or whatever they are, they've got some hold over you.
Sure is, Overnick. You'll be sorry the instant the ship blasts off.
I know what I'm doing. You'll be sorry if you aren't aboard. You mean you'll use that heat gun on us? I won't have to. That's the first warning. If we're not aboard that ship in 3 minutes, we'll all be finished in that rocket blast.
Be sure to join us next week for the thrilling story, The Exiles from Denebola, when Instant Ralston and Regular Ralston again present Space Patrol! Space Patrol, created by Mike Moser, starring Ed Kemmer as Commander Corey and Lynn Osborne as Cadet Happy, was written by Lou Houston, produced and directed by Larry Robertson, executive producer Mike Debray. Other players were Norman Jolly, Ken Mayer, Bela Kovach, and Dick Beals. Dick Tufeld speaking. Now, don't forget to tune in next Saturday and every Saturday when Instant Ralston and Regular Ralston again present Space Patrol! This is Dick Tufeld in Los Angeles with the story of one of the fastest planes in the world, and a word from the man who test flies it, Joe Lynch. It's North American's Air Force F-86D Sabre Jet Interceptor. Speed well over 700 miles per hour. Wingspan is 37 feet. Length 41. Cruising range 500 miles. Now, by special tape recording made at International Airport, the well-known test pilot of the Sabre, Joe Lynch.
The D is a one-man interceptor, so when you fly it, you're really on your own. That's why I see to it that I'm in good condition all the time. And one way to stay in good condition is by eating a good breakfast cereal, like rice checks or wheat check. They're just packed full of energy, and they taste well. I think you'll like them, too.
No other cereal, puffed or flaked, contains so much nourishment in such concentrated bite-sized form. So take a tip from Joe Lynch, George Welch, and other top test pilots. Make your cereals rice checks and wheat checks. Be sure to see another exciting Space Patrol story in your local ABC television station. Consult your local newspaper for time and channel. This program is broadcast to our armed forces overseas through the worldwide facilities of the Armed Forces Radio Service. Space Patrol came to you transcribed from Hollywood. This is ABC Radio Network. Instant Ralston and Regular Ralston, the hot whole wheat cereals in the red and white checkerboard packages, present Space Patrol! High adventure in the wild, vast reaches of space. Missions of daring in the name of interplanetary justice. Travel into the future with Buzz Corey, Commander-in-Chief of the Space Patrol! In today's transcribed Space Patrol adventure, Buzz and Happy are on the planet Mars, searching for Carol in an underground storage room filled with ancient, musty books. Suddenly, a sound that's more than a sound presses down upon them.
Commander, my head hurts.
So does mine.
I can hardly stand it. What's causing it, sir?
Ultrasonic vibration.
Yeah, but where are they coming from?
From the resonator up near the ceiling. The vibrations kill insects that attack the old documents.
What'll it do to us?
If we can't shut off that resonator, we'll meet the same fate as the insects.
We'll return in just a moment with today's exciting Space Patrol adventure, The Martian Masquerade. Time's up, Space Patrollers. This is the last call for the terrific Monoview Outer Space Helmet. Yes, this is the last week we can tell you how to get one. So, fire rockets! And get going, because I don't want any of you to miss out on the fun you can have with an outer space helmet. Now, just think, you can go off on imaginary trips anywhere in the universe through the eyes of that one-way eye plate. You can see everything clearly, but strange and different. A real spaceman's eye view. And with your helmet on, you'll look like an honest-to-goodness spaceman, too. It's a foot high. It slips over your head, rests on your shoulders, covers up your entire head. And that one-way eye plate is like magic. It lets you see out, but nobody can see in. Nobody can tell who you are. And what's more, it's got real-looking oxygen tanks, breathing tubes, and a crackling red and black lightning flash hood printed right on. Yes, sir, it's just what the spaceman ordered. Now, remember, this is the last time we can make this offer. So better swing into action right away. Buy a box of good, hot Ralston. Then, with your name and address and an instant or regular Ralston box top, Send 25 cents in coin to Space Patrol, Box 686, St. Louis, Missouri. That's Space Patrol, Box 686, St. Louis, Missouri. And now, today's Space Patrol adventure, The Martian Masquerade. In Commander Corey's central office at Space Patrol headquarters on the man-made planet Terra, Cadet Happy is attempting to explain a sudden change of plans to Carol Carlisle, daughter of the Secretary General of the United Planets.
Well, that's about all I know, Carol, honest.
But I don't understand.
Oh, here's the commander. He'll explain it.
Explain what? Hello, Carol.
Good morning, Buzz. Hap's been trying to tell me that we aren't going to Jupiter.
He's right.
Oh, no.
I've been trying to reach her all morning. Something came up at the last minute. Happy and I have to blast off for Venus right away.
But why, Buzz?
I'm to meet Captain Hallcroft there and pick up some designs for a new secret weapon. Bring them both back to Terra.
Oh, I see. Well, I guess I bought a lot of new things for nothing. No trip to Jupiter.
Well, you'll make the trip all right. I've arranged passage for you in the Solar Queen. Happy and I'll join you in a couple of days after we get Captain Hallcroft safely back to Terra.
Meanwhile, on Venus, in a shabby room at the Venus Plaza, Zyla Kermody sits dejectedly before a dressing table, gazing at her reflection in a mirror. As the door opens quickly behind her, she turns to greet her husband, Earl Kermody.
Well, where have you been?
Where have I been? Where did you hear it?
I'm waiting. I've been waiting in this rat trap all day and without a thing to eat.
All right, don't jump down my throat, son. Give me a chance to tell you the news.
Look, Earl, all the news I want from you is when do we get back to Mars?
That's what I want to tell you. Look at these spaceship tickets.
Well, I won't even ask where you swiped them.
Wait a minute, I didn't steal them. They were given to me by a fellow who wants a certain job done.
Yeah?
Yeah, and if we pull it off right, there's 20,000 credits in it for us. Maybe more.
What kind of a job?
All we got to do is go over to Venus City Space Hotel and remove some documents from one of the guests. Some plans of some kind for a secret weapon. They're in a plastic case just like this one.
Who's got the documents?
Captain Hallcroft. I got his number and everything.
Captain Hallcroft?
Yeah, he's a Space Patrol courier.
Well, are you out of your mind? That's all we need to get into a jam with the Space Patrol.
Zyla, honey, let me finish. There's no danger at all. That is, if you help.
I don't want any part of this.
Wait a minute. Let me show you something. Here, look at this picture.
Why, it's one of my pictures. Hey, it's not me.
Don't you know who this is? It's Carol Carlisle, the Secretary General's daughter. I always said you looked like her.
You really think so?
Sure. A lot of people think so.
Well, of course she wears her hair different, but I could fix mine.
Of course you could, honey. Now, look, all you got to do is get Captain Hallcroft out of his room for a couple of minutes. Then I go in and get the documents.
You mean I pass myself off as Carol Carlisle? You are crazy.
I tell you, there's no risk at all.
How do I get into the Venus City Space Hotel in the first place? Sneak through the freight chute?
No. Look, I've taken a room across the hall from Hallcroft. As far as the hotel staff is concerned, you're Mrs. Donahue.
Where'd you get the money for the room?
From the same guy who gave me the spaceship tickets.
Oh, who's that?
Now, he's a guy working with our old pal, the Martian book dealer.
Scavlin?
Well, Scavlin's just a go-between. But we're to take the documents to his shop in Lowell City on Mars. That's where we'll collect the 20,000 credits.
20,000.
And all you have to do is play Carol Carlisle for 10 minutes.
You don't think this captain would leave his precious documents unguarded for anybody but the Secretary General's daughter, is that it?
He might. But if we hold an ace, why not play it and be sure? Now, here's the way to work.
Elsewhere, in a room on the 28th floor of the Venus City Space Hotel, young Captain Hallcroft tries to read a technical journal. But his eyes keep wandering to the ray gun handy on the table beside him and to the drawer containing a case of valuable documents.
Yes?
I hate to disturb you, but I wonder if I could ask you a favor.
Oh, what kind of favor?
I seem to be locked out. The electrolock's stuck, I think.
Oh, I see. Well, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll phone down to the desk and have him send a man up. If the lock's jammed, you'll need an expert.
Oh, well, that's just what I was trying to avoid. It takes such a lot of explanation. You see, it's not my room. Some friends of mine, the Donahues, have the room across the hall. But they're out for the evening, and I left a package in there.
Oh, I see.
Oh, I know. It sounds strange, but calling downstairs and explaining would cause such a commotion. Oh, not on account of me, but because of my father.
Your father?
I see you don't know who I am. Does the name Carlisle mean anything to you?
Carlisle? Your father's the Secretary General. Of course, Miss Carlisle. I recognize you now from your pictures.
Well, you can imagine what would happen if the hotel staff found out I was here. There'd be such a fuss. I was hoping I could just pick up my father's present from the room and leave quietly.
Sure, I understand. Well, it's the room just across the hall, you say?
Just one door down. I'd be so grateful. It'll only take a minute.
Sure, Miss Carlisle. It'll be a pleasure.
I do hope Mrs. Donahue gave me the right key. Luckily, I saw them in the hotel dining room.
Well, if it was the right key, it should work. Yeah, we'll try it. There you are, Miss Carlisle.
Oh, now why did I have all that trouble? Oh, thank you so much, Captain.
No, not at all. Well, if you excuse me, I'll have...
just one more favor, if you don't mind. If you'll wait here just a minute, I'll give you the key and you can leave it with the clerk later. I'll only be a minute.
All right, Miss Carlisle.
Where is that package? Oh, she said in the bureau drawer. Oh, now, isn't that provoking? Captain, I'm awfully sorry, but could you come in, please?
Well, what seems to be the matter?
Oh, this drawer's stuck. I can't budge it. Would you try?
All right, Miss Carlisle.
A few moments later, Captain Halcroft returns to his room. His ray gun is still on the table, and a quick check shows the document case is still in the drawer. With a sigh of relief, the captain returns to his book. An hour later, there's another knock at the door.
Captain Halcroft?
Commander Corey, come in, sir.
Thanks. Captain, this is Cadet Happy.
How do you do?
How do you do, Captain?
Wasn't expecting you so soon, Commander. But believe me, I'm very glad you're here.
Any trouble?
No, sir.
I'll take the plans, Captain. But you're still to follow your original orders, just as though you still had them.
Yes, sir. Here's the case, Commander.
I'll remove the plans so you can take the case with you. It's empty.
Oh, smoking rockets.
I don't understand. That case hasn't been out of my sight since it was given to me.
Have you left your room since you checked in here?
No, Commander. I stayed here on guard ever... Except a couple of minutes.
Where did you go?
Well, just across the hall, but I wasn't gone for more.
Well, why did you go across the hall?
Well, I guess I'd better tell you the whole story. Miss Carlisle needed help getting into a room.
Who is Miss Carlisle?
Well, the Secretary General's daughter, Carol Carlisle.
Captain, Carol Carlisle is on her way to Jupiter.
She looked exactly like her. Hair, eyes, everything.
She's an imposter. You say she had a room right across the hall?
She said it was a friend's room, Mrs. Donahue. I have the key. She left it with me.
Happy, take the key. Check that room.
Yes, sir.
Come on, Captain. We'll go down and talk to the desk clerk.
15 minutes later, Buzz Happy and the very worried Captain Halcroft are in a surface car heading for the Venus City spaceport.
Commander, I can't tell you how sorry I am.
Well, all we can do now is find those crooks.
Well, we're looking for 3 of them, a man and 2 women. Is that right, sir?
No, Happy, just a man and a woman. The woman who posed as Carol is also Mrs. Donahue.
Well, how do you know that, sir?
I showed a picture of the real Carol to the desk clerk. He said that if Mrs. Donahue arranged her hair differently, she'd look exactly like the picture of Carol.
Oh, then she entered the hotel as Mrs. Donahue, went to the room, fixed her hair differently, and knocked on Captain Halcroft's door, right?
And I fell for it.
You were fooled by an expert, Captain.
She had all the props, even the gift package in the drawer.
Yeah. And while you were opening the drawer, Mr. Donahue slipped into your room and got the documents.
Well, our best bet is to try to leave Venus before the theft is discovered. If they don't show up at the spaceport, we'll start a search of the entire city.
What are we standing around for? Why can't we get aboard the spaceship?
I told you, Zyle, it's going to be late blasting off. Nothing to worry about. Just relax. In a few hours, we'll be at Scavelin's place in Lowell City.
Look, there's that Captain Halcroft, and he saw me.
You're just imagining things. Calm down.
I tell you, Earl, it was Halcroft. He was walking right behind us. Now what'll we do?
Don't get panicky. Wait till he gets farther away, then we'll duck into this freight.
Sorry, Commander. She's here all right.
Where?
Standing over there by the freight section.
Hey, I see her. Smoking rocket. She sure looks like Carol, all right. Uh-oh. She ducked through a door.
Come on, Hap. We'll follow them. Captain, you wait outside.
Here's the door she ducked into, sir.
Inside, quickly.
There doesn't seem to be anybody here. She must have gone through into another part of the freight office.
Somebody's behind those crates over there. Come on. All right, lady, come on out.
So I'm out.
Hey, no wonder the captain was fooled.
Well, what do you want? I haven't done anything.
If you haven't, I'm sure you won't mind coming with us.
That's where you're wrong, mister.
Commander! Wait, are you...
Oh, you really clobbered him.
Come on, let's get out of here.
We'll return to Space Patrol in just a moment. Gang, hurry, hurry, hurry. This is positively, absolutely, definitely the final week we can tell you about the terrific, the sensational, the wonderful Monoview Outer Space Helmet. So hurry, hurry, hurry. This is the last time we can offer the swell Monoview Outer Space Helmet and tell you about the swell times and the swell fun you can have with one. You know, it's the one and only outer space helmet that keeps your identity a complete secret, because that one-way eye plate lets you see out, but nobody else can see in. It's got special outer space ear plates, too. Everything you hear sounds like it's coming from way out in space. And don't you forget about those real-looking oxygen tanks, breathing tubes, and neat lightning flash hood printed on. So hurry, hurry, hurry. For only a quarter, 25 cents and a box top, you can get a Monoview Outer Space Helmet. Just buy a box of good hot Ralston. Then with your name and address and an instant or regular Ralston box top, send 25 cents in coin to Space Patrol, Box 686, St. Louis, Missouri. That's Space Patrol, Box 686, St. Louis, Missouri. And now back to our Space Patrol adventure, The Martian Masquerade. Taking advantage of her striking resemblance to the Secretary General's daughter, Zyla Kermody helped her husband steal plans for a secret Space Patrol weapon from Captain Halcroft. A short time later, Commander Corey and Cadet Happy arrived at Venus City, discovered the theft, and rushed to the Venus City spaceport in time to catch Zyla. But while questioning her, Buzz and Happy were knocked out by Earl Kermody. Unaware of this latest development, Captain Halcroft waits for them to come out of the freight station, but as moments go by, he becomes worried and goes in to investigate, and discovers Buzz and Happy lying on the floor.
Commander, Cadet. Commander, what happened? I'm not sure.
There's a big guy with a club. First he hit you, Commander. Well, before I could get out of the way, he hit me.
Same man I saw outside, talking to the girl. They may still be at the spaceport. We'll contact the control tower and order all ships grounded until we can make a search. Commander, if they got away, I think I know where they might be going.
Where?
Well, when I first spotted the girl here at the spaceport, I passed by close enough to hear part of their conversation. They mentioned Lowell City.
Mars.
Did you hear anything else, Captain?
That was a name. Rather odd one. Gavs something or other. Scavlin, I think it was.
We'll check on that later. Let's alert the control tower.
All ships are grounded while a search is made for a girl resembling Carol Carlisle. Guards at all exits are questioned, but there is no trace of her. Then, following the clue offered by Captain Halcroft, Buzz and Happy board the Terra 5 and blast off for Mars. With Happy at the controls of the ship, Buzz finishes a call to Space Patrol headquarters.
Well, that's all, but remember, when you locate Miss Carlisle, ask her to call me immediately on my private frequency. Corey out.
Any luck, Commander?
Well, Captain Halcroft was right.
What do you mean, sir?
There is someone named Scavlin in Lowell City. Uriah Scavlin. He runs a bookstore.
Bookstore? That doesn't sound very suspicious.
No, in fact, it's quite innocent. So innocent that I wonder why people like our friends the Donahues would be interested in it right after pulling the robbery.
Yeah, that is strange. Well, has this Scavlin any kind of a record?
No, but our Mars agents have been to his shop several times. You see, he specializes in rare books, first editions, collector's items. When such books are stolen, our men naturally contact all dealers, Scavlin among them.
Well, have you tried having Major Robertson run a search through our master files on the Donahues?
Yes, but I doubt that anything will turn up. That woman's name is no more Donahue than it is Carlisle.
Yeah, I guess it's right.
However, if the phony Miss Carlisle or Mrs. Donahue visits Scavlin's, it'll be reported to Lowell City headquarters.
Carol Carlisle at Jupiter City headquarters calling Commander Corey aboard Terra 5. Carol Carlisle to Commander Corey.
Corey here.
Oh, I just got your message. When did you arrive at Jupiter City?
There's a change in plans, Carol.
Oh, Buzz, not again.
Yes, and you're directly involved. Get the first passenger ship to Mars. I'll meet you at Lowell City Space Patrol headquarters.
Mars? But why are you going there?
I'll explain when you arrive.
Well, can't you tell me over the spacephone?
Definitely not. Corey out.
Well, after that, I'll bet Carol will be there waiting for us.
A tall man and a blonde girl stroll down a side street in Lowell City, capital of Mars. The man carries a package under his arm, a package that might conceivably be a book. They pause before a large store bearing the sign, Scavlin's Bookshop.
Oh, wait.
Come on, Zyla. What are you holding back for?
I don't think we should go in there.
How else are we going to collect? Come on. No, here he comes. Let me do the talking.
May I help you?
I brought in that
rare document I mentioned the other day, Mr. Scavlin.
Oh, let's see it.
I'll unwrap it.
It doesn't look like much to me, just a book.
Don't judge a book by its cover. Open it up.
This is a rare item.
Well, then it's genuine.
I'll drop back in a few days after I have a chance to examine it.
Say, what about our money? Where's the 20,000 credits?
Oh, you don't understand. I haven't the money to pay you for this document, but I do have potential buyers. If they are interested, they will pay me and I'll pay you.
Look, Scavlin, we ran a lot of risk to get those plans.
Alec, let's do as Mr. Scavlin says.
Oh, right. I don't like the setup.
Mr. Scavlin's perfectly reliable, dear. Now, until he contacts me, you and I better split up.
Split up? What for?
We stand less chance of being caught if we're not together. Now, you go to our old place and wait for me to call you.
Just a minute. Where will you be?
Don't worry, I'll keep in touch. Now, you run along.
Hours later, in Space Patrol headquarters at Lowell City, Carol listens to Commander Corey's account of the theft.
And you know where she is?
Yes, one of our agents trailed her when she left Scavlin's bookstore. We don't know where her partner is or what they've done with the plans.
Wouldn't you say the plans are in the bookshop, Commander?
That's likely, but to raid the bookshop now might give Scavlin a chance to tip off the ringleaders. I'm hoping Carol can help us.
I'll do anything I can, Buzz.
I want you to go to Scavlin's and try to get some evidence. It may be risky, so I'm giving you a miniature spacephone to conceal on your person. We found out that the woman's name is Zyla Kermendy. Her husband's name is Earl.
Well, what do you want me to do at Scavlin's?
I want you to impersonate the girl who impersonated you.
Yes, ma'am. May I help you?
Have you got the money?
Money?
You remember me. I was here the other day with my husband, Earl.
Oh, yes, I remember.
I asked you, have you got the money?
The arrangement was that I am to contact Mr. Kermendy.
Yes, but Earl changed his mind. He's tired of waiting. He can sell the plans himself. He wants you to hand them over to me, now.
Why is he in such a hurry? And why didn't he come?
He's afraid he's being watched. If he came here, the Space Patrol would get Earl and you, too.
Well, if that's the way it's got to be, just wait here a moment, Mrs. Kermendy.
Oh, sure.
Kermendy, this is Scavlin. You better get over here right away.
You got the money?
No, but your wife's trying to double-cross you.
What? She come to the shop?
She's here now.
Right, keep stalling. I'll be right over.
Okay.
Moments pass in the quiet, musty bookshop. Carol waits anxiously for the proprietor, Uriah Scavlin, to return. In another part of the store, she hears a series of muffled scraping sounds, as though heavy boxes were being moved. Could it be that Scavlin really is going to remove the stolen plans from hiding and give them to her? Suddenly, the street door bursts open.
You are here, Zyla. Well, you'll fix you, double-crossing little...
Go, you're
I
hurting
never thought
me.
you'd try to pull a trick like this. Wait a minute. Scavlin, where are you?
Right here. And if you're going to beat your wife up, do it somewhere else.
This isn't my wife. This isn't Zyla.
It isn't. Then who is it?
It's the Secretary General's daughter. She knows the whole setup. Space Patrol must have sent her here as a spy. We've got to get rid of her.
We'll hide her in the basement with all those old books.
You mean where you've got the secret plans hidden?
Yes. Get her down there, quickly.
All right, come on, sister. Get going. Down the stairs.
A few moments later, a Space Patrol surface car screams to a stop in front of the bookshop, and two men rush to the door.
It's locked, Commander.
I can fix that. Now, before the spacephone cut off, they put Carol in a basement. Let's find the stairs.
I haven't heard a sound out of that miniature spacephone for several minutes.
I hope we're not too late. I hear the stairs, Happy. Have your ray gun ready.
Yes, sir. Gee, this place is musty.
Yeah. Carol! Carol, where are you?
Oh, Buzz, is that you?
She's down this way, sir.
Well, I'm happy. And the spacephone worked after all. When they threw me down here, they broke it, and I was afraid you didn't hear me.
Where are they now?
They said something about getting a truck.
We'll get you out of here, then come back and look for the plans.
Yeah, before Scavlin and Kermendy get back.
What's that?
The door closed.
Uh-oh. Looks like the boys are back. We're locked in here.
Oh, Buzz.
Now, don't worry, we're still all right. Captain Halcroft will realize his trouble when he doesn't hear from us.
Yeah, and... Commander, my head hurts.
It's some terrible pressure. What's happening?
It's ultrasonic vibrations.
Where are they coming from?
From a resonator up near the ceiling. Vibrations kill the insects that attack these old books.
Yeah, well, what'll it do to us?
Well, if we can't shut off that resonator, we'll meet the same fate as the insects.
Buzz, I can't stand it any longer. The pain's driving me crazy.
Cap, we've got to act fast.
I can hardly move, and it sound's getting louder.
It isn't the audible sound that's hurting us. It's the higher cycles. Now, Happy, if we can move that ladder, raise it up, crash it against the resonator.
I'll try it, sir. It's heavy. Awful heavy. Commander, I can't hold it.
I'll try it, Hap.
It'll only reach. Hey, Commander, maybe I can climb it.
You'd lose your balance, sure.
You're getting it, sir. The top of the ladder is right next to the resonator. Push it hard, sir. You did it, sir. It's off. You broke the circuit.
Yeah.
Hey, Commander, Carol fainted.
I know. She'll be all right. That gives me an idea. Listen.
Don't hear anything in this, Captain.
Of course not. The walls are insulated. But I can guarantee there isn't anything alive in that room. 1 minute of those ultrasonic vibrations is all a human being can take.
You've had 5.
I'll cut the switch. Now we'll open the door and take inventory.
Yeah, there they are. The 3 of them.
Now, the best thing for us to do is to get the plans and get out of here.
Yeah, where'd you put them?
Oh, right up here in this old book.
That's all we wanted to know.
Scavlin, they're alive.
You bet we are.
Get Scavlin happy. I'll take care of Kermany. Keep an eye on him, Happy, while I take care of Carol.
I'm all right, Buzz.
Here, I'll help you up.
Oh, thanks, Buzz.
Well, Happy, I thought I told you to keep an eye on our prisoners.
Oh, excuse me, sir. I was just noticing a book here. A real old one, printed way back in 1955.
1955? Well, that's 1,000 years old.
Commander, can I take it with me to read in the ship on the way back to Terra? It looks real interesting.
Oh, what's the title?
Why Man Can Never Visit Other Planets.
An action preview of next week's exciting Space Patrol adventure in just a moment.
Space Patrollers, this is your commander. Now, I want every one of you to listen carefully to this message on the reminder meter. Now, listen. Here goes.
Send away today for your MonoView Outer Space Helmet.
Get it? Now, I want all of you to do just what the reminder meter says, because time is running out. This is the last time I can tell you about the sensational MonoView Outer Space Helmet, the official Space Patrol helmet that I wear on secret missions. You know, with your helmet on, your disguise is complete. A specially designed one-way eye plate lets you see out clearly, but nobody else can see in or tell who you are. Remember, too, the helmet has real-looking printed oxygen tanks and breathing tubes. Comes in mighty handy on space jaunts. And there's outer space ear plates, gleaming lightning flash hood. Yes, everything for the Space Patroller. Captain Tufeld, tell the Space Patrollers how to get one.
Yes, sir, Commander. Just buy a box of good hot Ralston. Then, with your name and address, send 25 cents in coin and an instant or regular Ralston box top to Space Patrol, Box 686, St. Louis, Missouri. That's Space Patrol, Box 686, St. Louis, Missouri. And send away today for your MonoView Outer Space Helmet. And now, a preview of next week's exciting Space Patrol adventure. Buzz and Happy are searching through an abandoned spaceship, half buried in a landslide in the mountains of Venus.
Whatever forced this spaceship to land certainly wasn't the lack of fuel. Just look at all these drums bolted to the racks.
They all seem to be full.
Commander, the ship's moving.
The dirt's getting away. We're sliding down the slope.
Commander, the fuel drums are breaking loose.
Run for the next compartment. If one of the drums hits us, we'll be crushed.
Be sure to join us next week for the thrilling story, The Treasure of Mount Rollcab, when Instant Ralston and Regular Ralston again present Space Patrol! Space Patrol, created by Mike Moser, starring Ed Kemmer as Commander Corey and Lynn Osborne as Cadet Happy, was written by Lou Houston. Produced and directed by Larry Robertson. Executive producer Mike Devery. Other players were Virginia Hewitt, Ken Mayer, and Norman Jolly. Dick Tufeld speaking. Now, don't forget to tune in next Saturday and every Saturday when Instant Ralston and Regular Ralston again present Space Patrol. This is Dick Tufeld in St. Louis reporting on the twin-jet Air Force fighter, the McDonnell Voodoo XF-88A. In a moment, we'll hear from the noted test pilot who flies this plane, Phil Houghton. Speed of the Voodoo is a military secret, but it's plenty fast. Wingspan is 40 feet, length 55, weight 10 tons. And now, Phil Houghton recorded this morning at Lambert Airfield.
After seeing the Voodoo, I guess you know why I like my job. There's one thing about it, though. A test pilot has to stay in good condition, get lots of sleep, and eat good, healthy food. That's why I like rice checks and wheat checks for breakfast. They've got plenty of energy in them, and they really taste swell. I think you'll like them, too.
No other cereal, puffed or flaked, contains so much nourishment in such concentrated bite-sized form. So do as Phil Houghton, J. Ray Donahue, Jr., and other top test pilots do. Make your cereals Rice Chex and Wheat Chex. Be sure to see another exciting Space Patrol program on your local ABC television station. Consult your local newspaper for time and channel. This program is broadcast to our armed forces overseas through the worldwide facilities of the Armed Forces Radio Service. Space Patrol came to you transcribed from Hollywood. This is ABC Radio Network. Rice Chex and Wheat Chex, the bite-sized cereals in the red and white checkerboard packages, present Space Patrol! High adventure in the wild, vast reaches of space. Missions of daring in the name of interplanetary justice. Travel into the future with Buzz Corey, Commander-in-Chief of the Space Patrol! In today's transcribed Space Patrol adventure, Buzz and Happy are searching through an abandoned spaceship, half buried in a landslide in the mountains of Venus.
Well, whatever forced this spaceship to land, it certainly wasn't lack of fuel. Look at all these drums bolted in their racks.
Mm-hmm. They all seem to be full.
Commander, the ship's moving.
Dirt's giving way. We're sliding down the slope. Run for the next compartment. One of the drum pitchers will be crushed. Commander! We'll return in just a moment with today's exciting Space Patrol adventure, The Treasure of Mount Rollcab. It's tops, it's tops, it's tops. Yes, sir, Space Patrollers, Rice Chex is tops three ways. For taste, for size, for get up and go. So get Rice Chex today. 1. Tops for taste. Delicious shredded rice. Oven toasted 3 times to make it 3 times tastier. Yep, tasty, extra tasty, and super tasty. That's Rice Chex. 2. Tops for size. Because Rice Chex is made of that modern bite-sized design. Light, fluffy, sunny gold, triple toasted shredded rice biscuits, just the right size for an easy bite. 3. Tops for get up and go, you betcha. A nourishing breakfast with Rice Chex, and zip, zoom, you're way, way ahead before you even start. That's why Commander Corey made Rice Chex an official cereal of the Space Patrol. Rice Chex, the cereal that's good with cream and sugar, good with fruit on top, good right from your pocket for snacks. Rice Chex, bite-sized shredded rice biscuits, hollow inside so they can fill up with cream for a super luscious bite. Rice Chex, full of that get up and go, the kind of energy you need to be an honest-to-goodness Space Patroller like Buzz Corey and Cadet Happy. So remember, Rice Chex is tops 3 ways. Get Rice Chex today. And get Wheat Chex today. Wheat Chex, the wonderful, power-rich Space Patrol cereal made of hearty whole wheat. Bite-sized, too. And what a bite. Wowie, hurry. Get Chex today. The only cereals that bring you a free Space Patrol trading card inside the package. Rice Chex, Wheat Chex. And now today's Space Patrol adventure, The Treasure of Mount Rollcab. Commander Corey and Cadet Happy have landed their spaceship in a clearing at the base of Mount Rollcab on the planet Venus. Leisurely, they stroll up a rough path overhung with lush Venus vegetation toward a crude cabin built against the side of the mountain.
In the trees above them, large squirrels chatter and scold, while gaily plumed birds start about like streaks of flame among the branches.
Smoking rockets, Commander. What a wonderful place to spend a 5-day leave.
I knew you'd like it, Hal.
I'm sure glad the rain's let up, though. Looks like we'll get in a few days hunting after all.
Mm-hmm. I'm a little puzzled about Matt, though.
What, you mean not answering your spaceophone call?
Yes, I was afraid at first the heavy rains might have damaged his cabin, but it's all right.
Hey, a real old-fashioned log cabin.
And Matt built it himself with old-fashioned hand tools. No Atomo power saws for Matt Henshaw.
Well, don't tell me he hunts with a bow and arrow.
Well, he's not that old-fashioned. No, if we go hunting, Matt will lend us one of his special guns. There's not even an instant of suffering for the animal, no matter where it's hit. Looks like Matt isn't home.
What now?
We'll go in and wait. He never locks his door.
Smells kind of musty.
It certainly does. Like it's been shut up for some time.
Maybe Mr. Henshaw's taking a vacation.
No place he'd want to go that I know of. He has no relatives. Matt must have been gone several days. Look at the dust all over everything.
Well, could he have gone on a long hunting trip? Or farther up the mountain, maybe?
And all the rain?
Well, maybe he left before the rain and got caught in it. A landslide, maybe.
If it were anyone else but Matt Henshaw, I'd say that was a good explanation. I'll check the space phone. Maybe Matt contacted Venus City. Commander Corey calling Space Patrol Headquarters, Venus City. Commander Corey calling Venus City Space Patrol.
Venus City Space Patrol here. Go ahead, Commander.
I'm at Matt Henshaw's cabin at the base of Mount Rocob. But there's no sign of Henshaw. Have you received a message from him?
I have no record of it, Commander. If you can tell me when it was to have been received, I'll check on it.
If he did call, it would have been an emergency.
We've received no emergency messages from that sector of Venus, Commander, except, of course, about the escape.
What escape?
Oh, sorry, sir. I thought you knew. The escape from Criminal Rehabilitation Camp number 2, south of Mount Rocob.
When did this happen?
Yesterday, sir. It happened when some of the men about to be released were called out on special emergency detail on account of the flood.
How many escaped?
Well, just one man, Commander, Hoke Sherman. He managed to slip away while the men were building barricades.
Well, Sherman's dangerous. Have they located him yet?
Not yet, sir, but it's only a matter of time. That whole lowland region is a network of wire-filled ravines and marsh. He can't get far.
Unless he had help from outside. Well, right now, I'm more concerned about Matt Henshaw. I'm going to look for him. I'll call you back at 1400 hours.
Yes, Commander.
Hurry out.
Hey, that criminal rehab center isn't far from here, is it, sir?
No, just a few miles.
I was just thinking maybe Sherman had something to do with Mr. Henshaw not being here.
By the looks of this cabin, Henshaw's been gone for days. Sherman escaped only yesterday.
Yeah, that's right.
Come on, Hap. We'll work our way up the mountain and see if we can find any trace of Henshaw.
Several miles from the cabin, higher up the slope of Rocob Mountain, two men pushed their way through the brush. Finally, they stopped and gazed at a raw scar of reddish clay where a landslide has spilled down the mountainside into a muddy, turbulent mountain stream.
I tell you, Hoke, there isn't any point going up further.
I say there is. Sooner or later, it's going to be narrow enough so we can cross. Then we can work our way down, far away from the rehab center.
Well, I wonder if they found my spaceship yet.
Yeah, probably. I wish I hadn't landed so far from the center.
How did I know that flash flood was going to cut us off? What a lousy break.
Never mind, Endicott. The important thing is I'm free. We can live indefinitely on this mountain. There's plenty of game. Space Patrol will never think of looking for us here.
Well, suppose the rain begins again.
It'll slow us down, all right, but it'll also slow down the search. Endicott, what in Saturn's rings is that?
What?
That thing sticking out of the dirt where the landslide is.
It's a big sharp rock, I guess.
Rock nothing. It's the prow of a spaceship.
You're right, Hope. It must have crashed in the storm.
Not in this last storm. Look at that hull, how rusty it is. Must have crashed years ago, and the landslide uncovered it.
What do you know about that?
Endicott, this is a break. There's shelter in and probably supplies. We can hold up here for a while if we have to.
I don't like the looks of it. It may slide down into the stream any minute.
Not unless there's a lot more rain. Come on, let's see what's inside the old hulk. Would you look at the design of that hull? They haven't built ships like that in 40 years.
It's an old one, all right. Wonder what happened.
Endicott, hold it. Look here in the mud. Those footprints aren't 40 years old.
You're right. Somebody's been here since the rain stopped.
Yeah, and he's made several trips back and forth.
Hey, somebody's coming out of the ship. I'll bless him when he steps out of the hatch.
Put that gun down, you fool. We're hunters, see? Now, come on. It's only one man, and he's unarmed.
Hold on there. You fellas what?
We're hunting. We saw the spaceship and came to investigate.
Well, there isn't anything to see, just an old hulk that's been abandoned for years. What are you hunting? If it's elk, you'll find a herd farther up the mountain on the west slope.
Thanks. That's what we're after, all right. Elk.
If you head around this landfall, you'll find the going fairly easy.
Thanks.
If you start now, you'll reach the elk herd in time to pick off a couple before dark.
Well, thanks for the information.
Hey, he acted kind of anxious to get rid of us. What's he up to?
I don't know. But he's got something inside that ship that he doesn't want anybody to know about. He's been lugging it out trip after trip. We'll get out of sight, see what he's up to, and then follow him.
How far is he going to lug that thing?
Not much farther, the way he's staggering.
You're right. He's stopping. Hey, that metal bar must be valuable. He's hiding it behind the rocks.
All right, Endicott. You rush him. I'll stay back here and cover you. I don't think he's armed, but if he starts to draw, I can pick him off from here.
Okay. Hold it a minute, partner. What you got there? I said, what have you got there?
It's none of your business.
Well, I'll just take a look. Well, quite a stack of metal bars you got behind the rock, mister. It's a lot of trouble to go to, lugging them all the way down from that old ship. Uranium. Hundreds of pounds of it. Why, it's worth a fortune.
Yes, uranium. It's mine by right of discovery. But I'll be willing to give you a couple bars.
Well, now, isn't it generous? I got news for you. You're giving up the whole works right now.
Drop that ray gun.
Sure.
I'm sure glad to see you, Commander.
But worried about you, man.
Hey, where'd that come from?
That was just a warning. Now, you space patrolmen, drop your weapons or I'll blast you apart.
Yeah, that's my partner. Hid up in the brush. And he means what he says.
You do as I say, no one will be hurt. Now, drop your weapons.
Susie says Happy. Before we could hit him, he'd mow us down.
Yes, sir.
All right, Endicott, get your weapons and come on.
Why not finish then?
There might be more space patrolmen around. Any more shots would lead them right here. Now, come on.
Who are those men?
I don't know, Commander. Never saw him till a few minutes ago.
The one we didn't see. What does he look like?
Well, he's tall, over 6 feet, black hair. Got a V-shaped scar on his upper lip. Pulls his mouth into a sort of sneer.
Sounds like Hoke Sherman, the escaped criminal from the rehabilitation center south of the mountain.
Hoke Sherman, see? We did get off lucky.
I hope you're right. Oh, Matt, this is Cadet Happy.
Howdy, son.
Howdy.
Let's get to your cabin and get some weapons, and we can go after Hoke and his pal.
Yeah, if you say so, but that'll give him a head start. I've got some weapons up ahead in a derelict spaceship.
A derelict spaceship? All right, let's go, but take it easy. We won't try to get close to Hoke until we're armed.
Commander, I suppose I better come clean about this stack of polonium back there. I found it in this deserted spaceship. I wanted to be sure no one took it away from me, so
Moments later, Buzz Happy and Matt Henshaw cautiously approached the rusted hulk of the spaceship, protruding from the moist red clay of the landslide. Seeing no trace of the escaped criminal, Hoke Sherman, and his partner, the three men enter the ancient wreck. Buzz runs his experienced eye over the interior fittings, the crude-appearing control panel with its tarnished instruments.
Matt, this ship is at least 150 years old.
Smoking rockets.
I had it figured around 100.
Of course, it's hard to tell how long it's been here on Mount Volcan.
I found it here about a week ago after that first big rain.
It may have been covered up a century or more ago by another landslide. You say you found no trace of the crew?
No. They must have got out after they landed. Haven't touched a thing in here except that polonium. When I saw that stack of shiny bars, I got greedy for the first time in my life. Well, I figured I'd get part of it by right of discovery, but I wanted it all. So I took it out of the ship and hid it. I stayed here at the ship to guard it.
We'll talk about the selenium later. Where are those weapons?
They're back aft in the fuel hold. I'll show you.
Yeah, you stay here at the hatch. Happen I can find the guns. Let me know if you see anyone outside.
Yes, sir. Oh, you better take this atomo light. It's dark back there.
Oh, thanks. Come on, Hap, let's have a look.
Well, whatever forced the ship to land, it certainly wasn't lack of fuel. Just look at all those drums, bolted in their racks.
Yeah. They all seem to be full.
Commander, the ship's moving.
The dirt's giving way. We're sliding down the slope.
Hey, the fuel drums, they're breaking loose. We've got to get out of here. One of those drums hits us, we'll be crushed. Commander! My leg, it's caught. I'm jammed between two drums.
I'll get you out here.
At least the ship isn't sliding anymore.
This thing is heavy.
What was that?
It was a shot. Somebody shooting through the hull. Must be Hoke Sherman. If he hits one of these fuel drums, the ship will blow up.
We'll return to Space Patrol in just a moment. This is Dick Tufeld reporting on America's most heavily armed fighter interceptor, the Northrop Air Force Scorpion, F-89D. In a moment, we'll hear from the test pilot on this plane, Bob Love, Korean jet ace, with a record of 6 MiGs in 6 weeks. Primary job of the Scorpion is to protect our country from invading aircraft. Speed more than 600 miles per hour. Weight 20 tons. Now, Bob Love, recorded at Edwards Air Force Base.
You know, a fella has to be in top condition to test fly a fast aircraft such as the Scorpion. And that's why I always make it a rule to sleep well and eat well. So, for breakfast, I pick a cereal like Rice Chex or Wheat Chex. They're chock full of energy and really taste good. You'll like them.
No other cereal, puff, or flake contains so much nourishment in such concentrated bite-sized form. So take a tip from Bob Love, Phil Houghton, and other top test pilots. Make your cereals Rice Chex and Wheat Chex. And here's big news. Inside of Chex, you now get a thrilling new Space Patrol trading card. Flip 'em, trade 'em, collect the whole set of 40. Free Space Patrol trading cards inside of Rice Chex and Wheat Chex. And now, back to our Space Patrol adventure, the treasure of Mount Rollcab. On Mount Rollcab on the planet Venus, Buzz and Happy rescued the mountaineer Matt Henshaw from 2 criminals, Endicott and Hoke Sherman. The outlaws, however, succeeded in disarming the commander and Happy and then fled up the mountain. Henshaw then led Buzz and Happy to a wrecked spaceship to obtain weapons to pursue Sherman and Endicott. While the space patrollers were in the fuel hold, searching for the weapons, the spaceship began sliding down the mountain. A heavy fuel drum broke loose from its moorings, pinning Happy against a bulkhead. Now, as Buzz struggles to free Happy, the rusty old hull of the ship is pierced by gunfire.
He's coming awfully close to those fuel drums.
I've got here in a second, Hap. I can just roll this thing a few inches.
Hey, he hit a drum.
I wonder it didn't explode.
You're hitting it, Commander. That does it, sir. I'm free now.
Come on, let's get out of here.
Oh, he hit another drum.
Fuel spraying all over.
One little spark and we'll blow up the whole side of the mountain. Come on, let's get out of here before this fuel blows up.
Wait a minute, Happy. I don't think there's any danger.
Huh? No danger? What?
If that was fuel, we'd smell it.
Well, what is it then?
Water. Brackish, foul-tasting water.
Yeah, but the metal drums, they all have rocket fuel painted on them.
Yes, that may be a clue to how this ship happened to land on the mountain with a cargo of thalanium. Somebody switched drums.
Yeah, but then something went wrong and the thalanium wasn't picked up.
We'll tackle that mystery later. Come on. Well, Matt, where are those weapons?
They're... Commander, Mr. Henshaw's hurt.
My shoulder. I got clipped by a hook of metal from the hook.
Hope's bullets.
I'll go after that rat.
Oh, wait, Happy. Hope and his pal may be waiting out there to pick us off. Gotta take care of Matt first. See if you can find a first aid kit.
Yes, sir.
100 yards away from the ancient ship, Hoke lowers his weapon and turns to Endicott.
If there is any fuel left in that old hulk, it must have deteriorated.
You probably got all 3 of them anyway. You sure riddled the hull.
Anyhow, they're scared, and now's our chance. Let's go.
Up over the mountain?
No, down. The way's clear now.
But you said there might be more space patrollers around here.
If Corey had anyone with him, they'd be up here by now. This is our way out. He must have a spaceship down at the base of the mountain. We'll get to it and blast off.
In a space patrol ship?
Sure, what could be safer? It'll at least get us off Venus.
Yeah. We can get another ship later, out in space.
Sure, and on the way down, we can pick up that thalanium.
Are you crazy? The 2 of us would have to make a dozen trips at least. By that time, Corey might come after us.
If he's still alive, which I doubt.
Anyway, there's no risk. One of us will guard the trail while the other lugs selenium down to the ship. Why leave a fortune like that up in the mountains?
Yeah, it's now or never, I guess. All right, let's go.
Back in the control compartment of the derelict spaceship, Commander Corey bandages Matt Henshaw's wounded shoulder.
Well, it's not a very professional job, Matt, but it's the best I can do under the circumstances.
It's fine, Commander. I figured I got off lucky. You take off after those crooks. I'll be all right here.
No, Matt, you've got to have medical attention. Happy and I are going to get you to our spaceship.
Just how do you think you're going to get me down the mountain? Can't walk. And I'm no hummingbird, believe me.
It'll be a rough journey, all right. Rough for all three of us, but especially for you, man. Now, wait. That stream out there.
Huh?
Flows right down the mountain to within a few hundred feet of our ship. If we can make a raft...
Yeah, but is the stream deep enough?
It's worth a try.
It's going to be some job finding logs.
We'll make a pontoon raft.
Out of what?
We'll empty a couple of those fuel drums and roll them down to the water. And we can lash a few poles for them and ropes.
After 2 hours of strenuous labor, Buzz and Happy assemble their makeshift raft. At last, they carry the injured Matt Henshaw down to the stream and place him gently on the bed of logs and saplings lashed securely to the empty fuel drums. Lifting, tugging, and shoving, they get the raft into the stream and climb aboard.
She rides pretty high in the water, sir.
It's going to be hard to maneuver in case we run into any rapids.
Don't worry about that, Commander. The stream's quieted down considerably since yesterday.
Are you comfortable, Matt?
Yeah, sure. This is real relaxing.
All right, Happy, take that pole and let's shove off.
Aye, aye, sir. Here we go.
Come on, Endicott. Just a little farther.
I don't think I can make it.
Yes, you can. This is the last trip. We'll load the bars and be on our way. Hey, look. There's Corey's ship down there, ready to take us to freedom.
Oh, my leg, my back. This bar weighs more than all the others put together.
Now, forget how tired you are. Just remember we'll never have to do another bit of work the rest of our lives.
Yeah, that's right, Hoka.
Hold it. Stop.
What is it?
Down at the edge of the water, I saw something. Something moved. There, you see?
Hey, Space Patrolmen. I saw their uniform. It was Corey and the cadet.
They must have come down the stream.
They'll get to the ship before we do.
Now, don't get panicky, Endicott. One of them's hurt. We can't see him now on account of these trees, but when they come out of the trees, they'll have to cross the clearing to get to the ship. I can pick them off from here. Stay behind this rock and don't make a sound.
Don't miss, Hoka. We're so near to freedom. Don't miss.
They haven't got a chance.
We're nearly there, Matt. Yes, Mr. Henshaw. As soon as we get through these trees, you'll see the ship.
I sure am in a lot of trouble. It's the first time in my life I haven't been able to walk on my own 2 feet. Since I was a baby, of course.
Put your weight on me, Matt.
I sure fixed your lead for you. Some hunting trip this turned out to be.
It wasn't your fault that Hope Sherman escaped from the rehab center.
Maybe not, but if I hadn't been so careless as to get in the way of one of his bullets, you'd have caught up with him by now.
The minute we get aboard the ship, I'll notify Venus City Space Patrol. They'll have search ships all over this mountain region.
Sure, Hoke and his pal Endicott won't have a chance.
Wait a minute. Hold it.
What's the matter?
Look over there to the right. Isn't that a pretty sight?
A bull elk.
Wow, look at that head. And those antlers.
He's a big one, all right. First time I ever saw one down this close to my cabin. Well, Cadet, here's your chance.
Chance?
We're downwind of him. He's far enough away to make a fair sporting shot. Well, son, what are you waiting for?
Well,
You came here to go hunting, didn't you?
Yes, sir, but...
But what?
Well, I guess I've got too recent a memory of what it feels like to be shot at.
Commander?
Thanks, Matt. Some other time.
Fine couple of sportsmen you are. Fly several million miles to go hunting and throw away an opportunity like this. I'm proud of you.
Let's get to the ship, Matt.
Sure.
Hey, the elk must have heard us. He's turning his head.
Hit the dirt! You okay, Matt?
Yeah.
There goes the elk, bounding back into the trees. I guess he isn't hit. Hey, who shot at him?
Take a look up there on those rocks. See them through the trees?
Uh-oh.
Sherman.
Right. Lie still, Happy. Slide your gun over here to me.
Yes, sir.
Thanks.
Commander, you don't expect to pick those fellas off with that weapon at this distance, do you?
We can't get much closer without exposing ourselves.
Here goes.
I think I know what's the matter, sir. I was in the water over my waist, and the gun got wet. Now, we're in a fine mess. We can't possibly reach the ship.
Happy. Your belt buckle is shiny and would make a tempting target. Take it off and put it on the end of the stick. Wiggle it around so they can pick up the glint.
Draw their fire, you mean?
Yes, not too often. Just enough to keep them interested. Move around a little, but keep down.
Yes, sir.
Matt, you just lie there.
I think I see them. Something's gleaming among the trees close to the edge of the clearing. You see it?
Yeah, they're watching us.
You only hadn't fired that other shot.
How did I know it was an elk?
Oh, don't get sore, Hoke. I'm only saying it's too bad they were tipped off.
Shut up. I'm going to try again.
Did you get him?
I can't tell yet.
You missed, Hoke.
Corey!
Hit him! I'll get him, Hoke.
All right, both of you, on your feet.
Okay, Corey.
Sure. Down to the ship, on the double.
Everything's okay back aft, Commander, except that Endicott and Hope Sherman don't look so good.
Evidently, space flying doesn't agree with them.
Well, anyway, not when they're being flown for reprocessing at the rehab center.
How you feeling, Matt? Shoulder okay?
It's dropping a little, that's all.
In a few minutes, you'll be at the best hospital in Venus City.
And we'll see that your thelanium is put in a safe place, Mr. Henshaw.
My thelanium.
There'll be a few formalities, of course, but after 150 years, no one's going to step forward and contest your claim. It's yours by right of discovery. You're a wealthy man, Matt.
The three of us are alive. That's the important thing. Yep, we're alive thanks to the commander's nerve and my dumb luck.
Well, it wasn't all nerve and luck, Mr. Henshaw.
It was luck. Oak hadn't mistaken that elk for us. We'd have been shot without any warning.
Yeah, but suppose we had shot the elk the way we had a chance to.
Yes, you're right, Cadet. That wasn't luck. It was kindness.
Yeah, and the elk was just returning a favor.
An action preview of next week's exciting Space Patrol adventure in just a moment. 1, 2, 3 kinds of fun at breakfast time. Space Patrollers, that's what you'll have the very first morning you start eating Chex, wheat Chex, or rice Chex. Because Chex are tops 3 ways, 3 wonderful ways. First, tops for taste. That's Chex, the only cereal that's toasted 3 times to make it crunchy as a cookie and 3 times as good. And second, Chex are tops for size, made in that modern bite-sized design for easy, happy eating. And third, Chex are tops for get up and go. Yes, a good breakfast with Chex gives you the kind of get up and go you gotta have to be a real space patroller. That's what Commander Corey says, and that makes it official. Makes Chex the official breakfast cereal of the Space Patrol. But unofficially, I can tell you Chex are mighty good right out of the box or right out of your pocket anytime you want a treat. Yes, breakfast time or any time, have yourself 3 kinds of fun with Chex, the cereal that's tops 3 wonderful ways. Tops for taste, tops for size, and tops for real get up and go. So go get 'em today. You'll love 'em. Chex, wheat Chex, or rice Chex. The only bite-sized cereals in the entire universe. The official cereals of the Space Patrol. And hey, here's a neat surprise. Swell Space Patrol trading cards. You get one free inside of every package of wheat Chex and rice Chex. And now, a preview of next week's exciting Space Patrol adventure. Buzz and Happy are hiding in the hold of a freighter piloted by a space pirate. Suddenly, waves of heat burst over them.
Wow, where's all that heat coming from?
Refrigeration system has broken down.
And every second we're getting closer to the sun. We'd better take over and change course before we suffocate.
It's worse danger than that in the next compartment.
Smoking rockets. Those chemicals.
Right. If you get a few degrees hotter, they'll blow the ship to atoms.
Be sure to join us next week for the thrilling story, The Strange Case of Space Pilot Prentice, when Rice Chex and Wheat Chex again present Space Patrol! Space Patrol, created by Mike Moser, starring Ed Kemmer as Commander Corey and Len Osborne as Cadet Happy, was written by Lou Houston, produced and directed by Larry Robertson, executive producer Mike Debris. A Other players were Ken Mayer, Bela Kovach, and Norman Jolly. Dick Tufel speaking. Now, don't forget to tune in next Saturday and every Saturday when Rice Checks and Wheat Checks again present Space Patrol. Be sure to see another exciting Space Patrol program on your local ABC television station. Consult your local paper for time and channel. This program is broadcast to our armed forces overseas through the worldwide facilities of the Armed Forces Radio Service. Space Patrol came to you transcribed from Hollywood. This is ABC Radio Network. Rice Checks and Wheat Checks, the bite-sized cereals in the red and white checkerboard packages, present Space Patrol! High adventure in the wild, vast reaches of space. Missions of daring in the name of interplanetary justice. Travel into the future with Buzz Corey, Commander-in-Chief of the Space Patrol! In today's transcribed Space Patrol adventure, Buzz and Happy have discovered a strange castle in the valley on the planet Mars. Curiously, they make their way down a long corridor.
This place has the weirdest lighting, sir.
Yes, it seems to come from the walls and ceiling as if the surface were glowing.
I wonder where this corridor leads. It seems to go on forever.
Trick of perspective, Happy.
Hey, what happened? I can't walk.
Hap, look at the floor. It's getting transparent.
Smoke and rockets. It's disappearing. They're right from under us. Hey, Commander, we're falling!
We'll return in just a moment with today's exciting Space Patrol adventure, The Revenge of Dr. Yeager. Breakfast time, Space Patrollers, the happiest time of the morning for all of you when you fill up your breakfast bowl like this with Rice Checks. Yes, Rice Checks, the triple treat cereal, tops three ways. Tops for taste, tops for size, tops for get up and go. Toasted 3 times until it's cookie, crisp, and crunchy. Every spoonful tastes like more. You bet Rice Checks is tops for taste, tops for size, has that modern bite-sized design. Size just right for a perfect bite. And it's hollow inside. It fills up with milk or cream, glides from your bowl right onto your spoon. That's easy, breezy eating. And gang, Rice Checks is tops for get up and go. And wow, after a good nourishing breakfast with Rice Checks, you're ready to swing into action in school or play. So, Space Patrollers, swing into action right away. Fill up your bowl every morning like Commander Corey and Cadet Happy with Rice Checks. Or for a neat whole wheat treat, try Wheat Checks. Rice Checks, Wheat Checks. Tops for taste, tops for size, tops for get up and go. So get them today in the red and white checkerboard packages with the big full-color picture of Commander Corey or Cadet Happy on the outside and the terrific Space Patrol trading card on the inside. Rice Checks, Wheat Checks. And now, today's Space Patrol adventure, The Revenge of Dr. Yeager. Commander Corey and Cadet Happy are in the Commander's space battle cruiser, the Terra 5, returning to the man-made planet Terra after a mission to Jupiter. Several thousand DUs inside the Mars orbit, Happy picks up a spaceship in the forward view scope.
It's a small private cruiser, Commander. There's no sign of a rocket blast. It must be in free fall.
What's its vector, Hap?
I haven't reckoned it yet, sir, but well, at the rate we're gaining on it, its velocity is very low, and it doesn't seem to be on any planetary vector.
Better call them.
Yes, sir. It looks like a drifter to me, all right, sir.
Emergency. Private cruiser M89 calling Space Patrol Battle Cruiser Terra 5.
Hey, they're calling us.
It's a faint signal for such a short distance.
I'll boost the gain, sir.
Private cruiser M89 calling Terra 5. I'm in trouble.
Commander Corey aboard Terra 5, the cruiser M89. What's your trouble?
I'm not sure. Power failure, I think.
We'll join airlocks with your ship and come aboard. Corey out. Happy, stand by to operate magnetic coupler.
Standing by, sir.
You'll both go aboard. Bring the emergency oxygen bottle just in case.
Thank heavens you're here.
Are you all right, miss?
Oh, yes, I am now.
The cabin air pressure seems okay, sir.
Oh, yes, everything's fine.
Just a minute. Didn't you space a phone an emergency? You said something about power failure.
I'm sorry, but I didn't know what else to do. You see, I was frightened.
Are you alone in this ship?
Well, yes, Commander. You see,
Happy, check that control panel.
Yes, sir.
What's your name, miss?
Lorna Stark.
Is this your ship?
Yes, I'm from Lowell City, Mars. You can check that.
I certainly will.
The instruments checked, sir. The rocket controls are off, that's all.
Yes, that's right. I've been in a free fall for about a half an hour.
Why?
I was afraid someone was after me. I thought if they didn't see the rocket exhaust, I'd have a better chance. Oh, I was just praying for a Space Patrol ship to come along. You have no idea how relieved I am.
You'd better have a good reason for faking a distress call. Who's after you and why?
Well, I'm afraid it's going to sound very strange. That's why I wanted you to come aboard so we could talk privately. I was afraid to explain over the spaceophone.
I'm listening, Miss Stark.
Well, perhaps I'd better start at the beginning. Did you ever hear of a Dr. Yeager?
Yeager?
Wilhelm Yeager, the scientist and inventor.
Dr. Yeager's been dead for nearly 30 years.
Yes, I know. He and my father were friends. You've probably heard that several of Dr. Yeager's inventions were never made public, that they're hidden in a secret castle.
Dr. Yeager was quite a colorful personality from what I've read. A lot of fantastic legends have sprung up about him, but how does all this tie in with your fake emergency call?
Commander, that castle of Dr. Yeager's is not legend.
Yeager? Yeager. Sure. The fellow the old-time pilots talk about. The man who's supposed to have made all those frightful inventions. Weapons so terrible he never even wrote down his secrets.
He did write them down, Cadet. I've seen some of the designs.
Huh?
Designs for what, Miss Stark?
I don't recall them all now, but there was the lethal ray.
Now, just a minute. You mean the lethal ray actually existed?
It exists now.
Where? Who has it?
Well, nobody. It's still where Dr. Yeager hid it.
You don't know where it is?
No, but somebody thinks I do. That's why they're after me.
Well, who has reason to suspect that you know about Yeager's secrets?
A man named Carl Bracker. He once worked for my father. He was present when I opened the sealed package containing documents that Dr. Yeager gave my father. You see, Dr. Yeager left it up to my father's judgment whether certain inventions were to be revealed. One day, about 3 years ago, I came across that sealed package. Curiosity got the better of me, and I opened it.
Go on.
A moment later, my father and this Carl Bracker walked in. My father was furious with me. Right then and there, he destroyed the documents. He said Dr. Yeager was right, that people couldn't be trusted. I was ashamed and frightened. Neither Father nor I mentioned the matter again. Then after Father passed away, Bracker showed up.
And wanted you to tell him where Yeager's secrets are hidden?
Yes, but I told him I didn't know. He was angry. He said I'd be sorry, but he went away. Then a few days ago, this other man started following me. I just know Bracker sent him.
When you saw those documents, did you notice where Yeager's inventions were hidden?
Yes, but I've forgotten. I pushed it out of my mind. I didn't want to know.
Miss Stark, I want to give you a brainograph test.
You don't believe me?
No, that's not the point. If that information about Yeager is in your subconscious, someday you might recall it or be forced to reveal it. I want to find those inventions if they exist, to keep them from falling into the wrong hands.
And the brainograph will make me remember?
It'll put your thought images on a screen. Even those dim patterns and impressions your conscious mind isn't aware of. It's completely painless. Are you willing?
Well, of course.
Well, it'll be late when we get to Terra. I'll arrange for a room for you at the Terra Space Hotel with a guard at the door.
Guard?
You said someone was after you, remember? Let's get into my ship. You can tell me more about this Carl Bracker.
Early the next morning, Buzz and Appy arranged with Major Robertson, Space Patrol Security Chief, to set up a brainograph test. Then they hurry to the Terra Space Hotel to get Lorna Stark. They step out of the elevator and walk down the hall.
Room 2309, wasn't it, sir?
Yes. Say, where's the guard? He was to stay on duty in the hall until relieved.
The door's unlocked, sir.
Something's wrong here. Miss Stark!
Hey, Commander, look! It's the guard. He's on the floor, tied up and gagged.
Just a minute, Sergeant. Happy, untie him. I'll loosen the gag. There. Where's Miss Stark?
They took her away. I tried to stop them, but they slugged me.
They?
Yes, 2 men, a big one and a little fellow in a waiter's outfit. That's how he got close to me out in the hall. The little guy with the tray, he pulled a ray gun on me and forced me into the room. The big guy came in. Guess he'd been waiting around the turn in the hall.
Here's a waiter's coat and tray on the floor, sir.
How long ago did this happen?
About 2 hours ago. It really tied me up. I've been trying to...
What about Miss Stark? Did she know the men? Did she go willingly?
Well, she put up a squawk till the big guy got rough. She seemed to know him, called him by name. Let's see, Bracker. That's it, Bracker.
Have to get on the phone to headquarters. Have them check the files on Carl Bracker. I want all the data on my desk when we get there.
This is all we have on Bracker, sir.
Is there a photo?
Yes, sir.
Sergeant, is this one of the men?
That's him, all right, sir.
What's his record have?
Well, picked up 2 years ago in a space safety code violation.
Section 23D, installing instruments in a spaceship without a license. Fined 50 credits.
Any address?
Let's see. Just the place he works. Cosmocraft Instrument Company, 18 Newton Place, Terra.
Cosmocraft.
Spelled with 2 Ks. Real cute. Merton Yost, Chief Engineer and Consultant.
I've heard of that outfit. They rebuild instruments and deal in second-hand electronics equipment for spaceships. Personally, I wouldn't trust them to repair a sundial.
I wonder if Bracker still works there.
Now, come on. We'll drop around and see if he's renewed his license.
From the outside, Cosmocraft Instrument Company appears to be like the other small, independent manufacturing concerns that thrive in the clean, handsome buildings on Newton Street. But a visitor would find the interior rather uninviting. The office is littered with papers and out-of-date technical books. A small, nervous man sits at a desk, glancing first at the street door, then toward the back room that serves as a workshop. In the shop, Lorna Stark sits huddled on a packing case, while a large man towers threateningly over her.
I'm tired of playing games, Lorna. Now let's have it. Where's Yeager's castle?
I don't know. I tell you, I don't know.
Don't give me that! It's on those papers. The lethal ray and all those other secret weapons are at the castle, aren't they?
I've forgotten, I tell you. Believe me, Bracker, I've forgotten.
Hey, cut out that noise. I can hear you clear out in the office.
She's playing coy, Yost. But I'll get it out of her.
We shouldn't have brought her here.
All right, get back out there and shut the door. Suppose somebody comes in.
All right, Bracker, but please keep quiet.
All right, Lorna. Now, you'd better talk. Where's Yeager's castle?
I don't know. I don't know.
This is it, Hap. Come on.
Yes, sir.
Yes, gentlemen?
I'm Commander Corey.
Yes, Commander Corey. What can I do for you?
Does Carl Bracker still work here?
Bracker? Hey, Bracker, let's see.
I shouldn't think in a place of this size you'd have much trouble remembering who's in the payroll.
Mr. Bracker left us just last week. I don't know where he is.
Is there anyone else I can talk to?
No, I'm all alone here this morning. My assistant's out on the job at the spaceport. Sorry, I can't help you.
All alone, huh? Come on, Hap.
You can't go back there?
Oh, we can't, huh?
You heard what I said?
Oh, you want to play rough?
Good work, Hap.
Stop it, you're hurting me.
All right, Bracker. Let go of her and get your hands up.
Oh, Commander Corey.
Get him way up, Bracker. Search him, Hap.
Yes, sir. He had this under his jacket, sir. A blast gun.
Commander, I remember now. Yeager's castle is in Mars. It's in the Hartog Hills.
We'll discuss it later, Miss Stark. All right, Bracker, just take it easy and come over here.
Stay right where you are, gentlemen, and don't move. I said don't move. I can shoot the girl before either of you turn around.
Yost, I've been wondering what happened to you.
Drop your weapons.
It's his play, Hap.
Sorry, sir. I thought I clobbered him good.
Now, that's being very smart, gentlemen.
Thanks, Yost. I'll just pick up my gun and add a few finishing touches.
Oh, no, you don't.
Here, Lorna. That takes care of your space patrol friend. Yost, get the surface car ready while I bind and gag the girl. We're getting out of here.
We'll return to Space Patrol in just a moment. This is Dick Tufeld in Los Angeles with the story of one of the fastest planes in the world and a word from the man who test flies it, Joe Lynch. It's North American's Air Force F-86D Sabre Jet Interceptor. Speed well over 700 miles per hour. Wingspan is 37 feet. Length 41. Cruising range 500 miles. Now, by special tape recording made at International Airport, the well-known test pilot of the Sabre, Joe Lynch.
The D is a one-man interceptor, so when you fly it, you're really on your own. That's why I see to it that I'm in good condition all the time. And one way to stay in good condition is by eating a good breakfast cereal, like rice Chex or wheat Chex. They're just packed full of energy, and they taste swell. I think you'll like them, too.
No other cereal, puffed or flaked, contains so much nourishment in such concentrated bite-sized form. So take a tip from Joe Lynch, George Welch, and other top test pilots. Make your cereals rice Chex and wheat Chex. And now back to our Space Patrol adventure, The Revenge of Dr. Yeager. Buzz and Happy burst in upon Carl Bracker as he attempted to force Lorna Stark to reveal the hiding place of sinister weapons invented by the late Dr. Yeager. In the excitement of the rescue, Lorna blurted the location of Yeager's hidden castle, just as Bracker's partner, Merton Yost, intervened. Fearing resistance would endanger Lorna, Buzz and Happy surrendered their weapons. Bracker knocked the space patrollers unconscious, then he and Yost escaped, taking the girl with them. Now, an hour later, Buzz and Happy find themselves locked in the repair shop of the dingy spaceship instrument factory on Terra.
Wow. Wait till I get a hold of that guy, Bracker. He raised a lump on my head the size of Mars' first moon.
Mars? Huh? That's where Yeager's castle is. Did you hear Lorna just as we came in?
I was sort of busy. If I did hear it, Bracker's gun knocked it out of my mind. Whereabouts on Mars, did she say?
Yes. It was right then that Yost came in, but I think I recall it. The Hartog Hills.
Hartog Hills? That's a new one on me, and I thought I knew Martian geography.
It's a range a few hundred miles northwest of Rocob City. And come to think of it, it's a good place to hide a castle.
We're locked in.
That isn't going to last more than a few seconds. We notify headquarters that we're blasting off from Mars.
Well, gee, Commander, do you think Bracker will go there? Doesn't he know that you heard Lorna tell where the castle was?
He's gone pretty far already, Hap. He may figure that it's worth taking a chance on getting his hands on Yeager's weapons. Those rumors are even half true. One man could wipe out an army with the lethal ray alone.
Wow. Let's hope we find the castle before Bracker does.
The door, Hap.
Oh, yes, sir. Allow me.
Here, Hap, I'll help you out. Now to the spaceport. Hurry.
Yes, sir.
Merton Yost sits hunched over the controls of a private cruiser, watching the red-tinged disk of the planet Mars grow larger in the viewscope. He turns as Carl Bracker shoulders his way through the narrow opening into the control compartment.
Can't you get any more acceleration out of this old bucket?
Take it easy, Bracker. We'll be over the Hartog Hills right after sunup, the way I figured.
You better contact Jacobs at Marcob City. We'll meet him out in the desert. He can fly us to the Hartog Hills to look for the castle.
Smart idea. When we locate Yeager's hideout, there won't be a grounded ship there to give us away.
Sometime later, another ship enters the thin, cold atmosphere of Mars. As Buzz handles the controls, Cadet Happy compares the terrain in the viewscope screen with the detailed 3D projecto chart of this sector of the surface of Mars.
Hartog Hills appearing in the screen now, sir.
And so far, no sign of any ship that might be Bracker.
I'll bet he didn't have the nerve.
Well, let's not underestimate him, Hap.
No, sir. You sure were right when you said the Hartog Hills were a good place to hide a castle. Those rock formations are sure confusing.
I'll cut our altitude, Hap, and place back and forth across the range. Now the viewscope scanning beam to a small arc.
Yes, sir.
Crisscrossing the range of hills, Buzz and Happy examine the terrain from every angle, peering down into steep-walled canyons, bouncing scanning beams off weirdly formed rocks, and probing into vegetation. Then, for a fraction of a second, a formation appears in the viewscope that causes Buzz and Happy to exchange glances.
Well, was it or wasn't it, sir?
We're going to circle back and make another pass over that canyon at a slightly different angle of approach. What we saw might have been a natural formation.
I've been staring at different shapes of rocks for so long, I don't think I'd recognize a castle if it has a sign on it.
We'll know in a minute, Hap. That's it, Happy.
Yes, sir. I can make out columns and even steps. But wow, what a job of camouflage.
Yeager built the entire facade of an enormous building right against the wall of a canyon. Magnificent.
Yeah, if we'd flown over at another angle, well, we never would have seen it.
Well, there's no sign of another spaceship near here.
Yeah, but there's plenty of room to land in front of the castle.
Well, we'll land and have a close look at Yeager's castle.
A few moments later, Buzz and Happy stand before a beautiful facade of a building constructed against the wall of the cliff. Broad steps lead up to a gigantic door.
Gee, Commander, now that we're right in front of it, I wonder why we didn't notice it from the ship.
Every line of that building was cut to blend with the cliff when seen from a height. It's a beautiful job, Hap.
Yeah, look at the size of that door. We'll probably have to get something from the ship to blast it open.
Let's go up and examine it first.
Uh-oh. Commander, the door, it's swinging open. Somebody's in there.
Have your ray gun ready, Hap?
Yes, sir.
There's no sign of anyone. The door may have opened automatically. I'll go in first, Hap.
Smoke and rockets. Look at the size of this hall. Hey, Commander, the door, it's closing.
We better get out while we can. Hurry.
Hey, now the door's swinging open again.
It is automatic. You don't have to worry. Let's explore the castle.
I'd sure like to find those weapons that Yeager hid.
It may take time, judging by the size of this place.
I wonder where all this light is coming from. There aren't any windows.
The light seems to come from the walls and ceiling.
As if the surface were glowing. Imagine building a place like this inside a hill where nobody can see it. Yeager was a genius, all right, but I think he was a little nuts.
Well, at least he was sane enough to try to keep dangerous weapons out of the hands of people he thought might misuse them.
Yeah. Wonder where this corridor leads. Seems to go on forever.
Trick of perspective, Happy.
Hey, what happened? I can't walk.
Have to look at the floor. It's getting transparent.
Smoke and rockets. It's disappearing. Right from under us. Commander, we're falling!
Buzz and Happy plunge downward in total darkness. Any moment they expect to land with shattering suddenness on some hard surface. But seconds pass, and they keep plunging down into the blackness.
Commander, I'm slowing down.
Yes, so am I.
Oh, we're at the bottom. Wherever that is.
Stand right where you are, Happy. It isn't safe to move in this pitch blackness.
When that floor opened up from under us, I never expected to move again.
Lucky I brought my atomo light.
That won't be necessary, Commander.
Who's that?
You'll see when I turn on the lights. There.
Bracker.
Now, don't reach for your weapons. It'll be the last move you make. Raise your hands.
Do as he says, Happy.
Yours. Take the ray guns.
All right, Bracker.
Bracker, what have you done with Lorna Stark?
She's perfectly safe in the next room. You're probably wondering just what happened to you. You're now in a lower level of Yeager's castle. You were lowered by one of Yeager's amazing inventions, a levitation beam, controlled by this panel here.
But the floor just dissolved under us.
That part of the floor up there is actually the top cross-section of the levitation beam. By cutting the beam completely off, I could have dropped you to your death.
I suppose you want a medal.
Yes, open the door. I'm sure the commander would like to talk to Miss Stark. Get moving, you two.
What are you going to do with us, Bracker?
We'll see in a moment.
Oh, Commander Corey.
In there, both of you.
Commander, they found out everything. The big room where Dr. Yeager hid all his horrible weapons.
That's right, Corey. Yeager left full instructions. Now, you three stay in here a few moments. Then we shall see how the lethal ray works.
You aren't going to use it on us.
Exactly. There's a small hand model that should serve the purpose quite nicely. I'll be right back.
We've got to try to find a way out of here before they get back with that lethal ray.
We've got to stop them, Commander. With those weapons, they can wipe out whole cities. And it's all my fault.
No, that's not going to help.
But look what was in the room with the weapons. The paper that Dr. Yeager left.
Let us see it. I had hoped that this message would never be read. The fact that you are reading these words is proof that human beings cannot be trusted. Therefore, you deserve to be destroyed. Knowing there was evil and destruction concealed here, you came willingly. Very well, use these forces that I have discovered. Destroy yourselves and improve the universe. Dr. Wilhelm Yeager.
Wow.
A very bitter man.
He was right. Human beings can't be trusted. I proved that.
Everybody makes mistakes. And Dr. Yeager made one when he assumed everyone was evil.
And Bracker made a mistake when he thought there was no other way out of this room. Look behind this tapestry.
A door. See if it's locked.
It opens into a long hall.
Come on, quickly, before Bracker comes back. Hurry, Lorna.
Well, if only we can find our way out of the castle.
Well, anyway, there's plenty of light.
Once we get out of here and get to the ship, we can call the Space Patrol Squadron and destroy the castle if we have to.
But if Dr. Yeager's weapons are as powerful as he said they are, couldn't Bracker and yours fight off all the spaceships in the universe?
Well, they might get some of us, but we can keep them holed up here at least.
Smoking rockets as sure as a long corridor. What did I hit?
There's a big mirror across the corner of the passage. The passage turns here.
Sure enough. And the mirror's at an angle so you can see around the corner. It looked like the passage went straight ahead.
Stop where you are!
It's Bracker. He's after us.
Around the corner, quickly.
Stop!
Commander, what are we going to do? This is the end of the passage.
Must be a door here.
Yes, there is. Oh, it's locked. We're trapped.
And Bracker's coming for us.
Yeah, I can see him in the mirror coming up the corridor. And he's got a weapon.
Come on, Yost. We got him now. They can't get out.
Use the lethal ray.
I want to get a little closer.
Commander, does he think that lethal ray shoots around corners?
He doesn't know he's aiming at a mirror. He thinks the corridor is straight.
Yeah, but, sir, what if the mirror reflects the ray toward us?
Go on, Bracker. What are you waiting for?
I'm waiting for him to plead for mercy. Well, Corey, haven't you anything to say?
Don't talk. Keep perfectly quiet.
All right, then. We'll see how Yeager's lethal ray works.
They're gone. It destroyed them completely.
Yeah. Very satisfactory. They had the regulators set unnecessarily high. Look what the ray did to the wall.
Blasted a hole in it.
They're coming closer to examine it. We'll jump them when they reach the turn in the passage.
Yes, sir.
Lorna, keep absolutely quiet.
Incredible, isn't it, Joe? You'd never know that a few seconds ago 3 human beings were standing here.
Now, half-cracker, look out! I'll take that weapon, Bracker.
All right, Bracker, get up.
Corey, I saw you disintegrate.
Yeah, the 3 of them. I saw it, too. You can't always believe what you see. You were looking at a reflection. The lethal ray merely destroyed a mirror on the wall behind it.
A mirror?
That's right. It's the first and last bit of damage Dr. Yeager's lethal ray or his other weapons are going to inflict. Come on, Hap. Let's get these crooks up to the ship.
Yes, sir.
An action preview of next week's exciting Space Patrol adventure in just a moment. Hey, Hap, where are you hiding your rice checks and wheat checks these days?
Right here, Captain Tufeld, in this top-secret Space Patrol file cabinet. Hey, you gotta be careful where you keep the checks around here. They taste so good, anybody who sees them eats them.
Are you filing them under C for checks?
Smoking rockets, no. Under T for tops. Oh, one thing for sure, Captain. It's no secret that rice checks and wheat checks are tops. 3 ways. For taste, for size, and for get up and go.
Yes, sir, gang. Hap is 3 times right. Checks are tops 3 ways. For taste, Sunny Gold rice checks or power-rich wheat checks. Delicious right out of the box for snacks or out of the bowl with milk or cream. Tops for size. Checks are made in that modern, streamlined, bite-sized design for super easy eating. And checks are tops for get up and go. Real Space Patrol get up and go. After a good breakfast with checks, you're off to a blazing, lightning-fast start every morning.
Jumpin' Jupiter, Captain Tufeld. What are we waiting for? Hey, let's get going on the checks right now. Space Patrollers, why don't you get going? Go get checks today.
Look for them in the red and white checkerboard packages with the swell picture of Commander Corey or Cadet Happy on the outside and the wonderful free Space Patrol trading card on the inside. Rice checks,
wheat checks.
And now, a preview of next week's exciting Space Patrol adventure. Buzz and Happy are captives aboard a spaceship from another galaxy. In a desperate attempt to warn the United Planets of an attack, the 2 Space Patrollers are trying to master the bewildering controls of the spaceophone in the strange ship.
Well, gee, Commander, this certainly doesn't look like any transmitter I ever saw before.
Hold it, Hap. I think you've got it. Don't touch anything else. Make the call.
Smoking rockets. Commander, look.
It's the robot. Zervok sent him to stop us.
He's a monster. And he's coming right for us.
Get that call out, Hap. I'll try to hold that thing off.
Space Patrol, emergency. All units. It's got me.
Be sure to join us next week for the thrilling story, The Visitor from Galaxy 9, when Rice Checks and Wheat Checks again present Space Patrol! Space Patrol, created by Mike Moser, starring Ed Kemmer as Commander Corey, and Lynn Osborne as Cadet Happy, was written by Lou Houston, produced and directed by Larry Robertson, executive producer Mike Dever. Other players were Virginia Hewitt, Norman Jolly, and Ken Mayer. Dick Tufeld speaking. Now, don't forget to tune in next Saturday and every Saturday when Rice Checks and Wheat Checks again present Space Patrol! Be sure to see another exciting Space Patrol program on your local ABC television station. Consult your local paper for time and channel. This program is broadcast for our armed forces overseas through the worldwide facilities of the Armed Forces Radio Service. Space Patrol came to you transcribed from Hollywood. This is ABC Radio Network.